What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 7RG-151 Open 8 Gate, Dead Gate. It seems that the outcome will be decided in a short time. The blonde old man folded his hands on his chest and stared at the two people on the battlefield. Although it can be said that Chen Mu and the scarred old man were almost evenly matched when they first fought. But, with the end of the warm-up of the scarred old man, he also fully demonstrated his terrifying strength and combat experience far surpassing Chen Mu. Therefore, the current situation is that the scarred old man has the upper hand, although only slightly. But this is enough for the scarred old man to win this battle. The old man holding the sword in his arms sighed. However, it's a pity that such a talent has fallen. Although he is a malleable talent, he cannot be used by our world government after all, so he is doomed to perish here today. Today, we have pulled out a poisonous thorn that has been stuck in our heart. The four old men watching the battle knew the result of the battle just by looking at the situation on the battlefield. If Chen Mu only has this level of strength, he is destined to be defeated by their old friends. Boom! Accompanied by a shock, 907 came, and Chen Mu's body was bombarded to the chest by the scarred old man with all his strength, and he flew backwards for a distance of tens of meters. But Chen Mu's physique is far beyond ordinary people's imagination. Even if he resists a punch, he will hardly be hurt. With his hands behind his back, the scarred old man approached Chen Mu step by step and said with a trace of contempt on his face, "Although I admire you very much, but are you only at this level, Chen Mu? It seems that we need to be more serious." Chen Mu took off his shirt and said calmly, revealing his muscular muscles. "Seriously, I advise you not to waste your efforts. No matter how serious you are not my opponent." "Yeah? 8 inner gates, first gate, open, open. 8 inner gates, fourth gate, inner gate, open. 8 inner gates, 8th gate, gate of death, open." In one breath, Chen Mu directly opened the 8th gate of 8 inner gates, the gate of death. As Chen Mu opened the door, red steam visible to the naked eye swirled all over his body. At this time, he was like a killing god. His aura reached the peak, and this aura directly stunned many BABG members of the CPO organization. The 8th gate dead gate is the strongest force among the 8 inner gates. After opening, Chen Mu's strength will be qualitatively improved. Opening this gate in the original book is the result of death, but the 8 inner gates obtained by Chen Mu is enhanced. So, now he can use the power of the 8 inner gates to his heart's content without worrying about death. Chen Mu's strength has been enhanced. This aura, even, is above the 5 elders. Chen Mu, does this guy actually have such power? Some of the strong members of the CPO organization who watched felt tremendous pressure when they stared at Chen Mu, as if the sky was covering their bodies, and these people still held on and did not fall down. But, by their side, there are already many members who have fainted from the shock of this force. Sure enough. The stinger is not so easy to pull out. Does Chen Mu still hide such power? Chen Mu has really discovered the secret of the fruit, otherwise he might have such an earth-shaking change in his physique. There are so many abilities in a body that has grown, there are so many amazing secrets buried in this guy Chen Mu. Not to mention the members of the CPO organization, even the 5 elders were shocked by Chen Mu's momentum. Chen Mu's current strength, compared to just now, undoubtedly has not been improved by a single star, but has been greatly strengthened. Feeling the aura coming from Chen Mu, at this moment, even a strong man like the scarred old man felt the unprecedented pressure. A wisp of cold sweat appeared on his forehead and said in surprise, "You guy, you can make your own body in such a short time. Has the momentum changed like this?" Chen Mu did not respond to the scarred old man's words, but clenched his fist. At this moment, he felt that the inside of his body was continuously transmitting terrifying power information to his body. This feeling made Chen Shu extremely comfortable. "Let's get on with it." As Chen Mu's voice fell, the long-haired old man with the strongest observation haki among the 5 elders broke out in a cold sweat, and quickly shouted at the scarred old man, "Get away." Although the old man with long straight hair quickly reminded the old man with scars before Chen Mu took action. But Chen Mu's speed is so fast that it can't even be described in words. Boom. Everyone saw a flash of red light in front of them, and the next second the scarred old man's body flew hundreds of meters away. Boom. 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 The body of the scarred old man hit more than a dozen buildings continuously. After the extremely hard building came into contact with the scarred old man's body, it shattered like paper and turned into ruins. A dozen buildings were destroyed in the blink of an eye. The scarred old man was even covered by the shattered buildings. Crash. Along with the scarred old man being knocked into the air, at this time the air transmitted a terrible impact. Many members of the CPO organization were directly sent flying 10 meters away by this impact, lying straight on the ground. How is it possible? The power is so strong. Chen Mu's ability is not just a bluff, but it's a real set with terrifying explosive power. Shooting master 5 elders so far with one punch? Seeing the scene in front of them, they even wondered if they were dreaming. Otherwise, how could Chen Mu's strength be so terrifying? One blow wounds 5 elders. You know, the 5 elders are like gods in their minds, but today, the gods in their hearts have been completely destroyed by Chen Mu's punch. The old man with the sword in his arms constricted his pupils violently, pulled out the supreme sharp knife from his waist, and said in a deep voice, "Damn it, it seems that we also need to intervene in this battle, otherwise, he will lose." It's really amazing strength. I didn't expect Chen Mu at this age to have the strength slightly surpassing Rock's. 152-8 Inner Gates, Night Guy. They originally thought that Chen Mu's current strength, at most, slightly surpassed Admiral's strength, second only to Rock's. But, today's battle let them know that Chen Mu's strength is not second only to Rock's. Instead, it slightly surpasses the Rock's. No wonder this guy doesn't want to join our world government. If he is allowed to continue to grow, it is very likely that even the 5 of us will not be his opponent. However, now we still have a chance to take down Chen Mu together. The 4-5 elders, who were originally watching the battle, saw the scene in front of them, and everyone was fully prepared for the battle. Because they know, it is difficult for the scarred old man alone to defeat Chen Mu. Only when the 5 of them work together can they win it easily. Just as the 4 of them were ready to attack Chen Mu, the scarred old man reappeared in everyone's sight. His clothes were torn and he still had some bloodline on his body. At this time, he put his eyes on the 4 of them and said, "You don't need to make a move, just give Chen Mu to me." "Don't be brave, idiot. I know you are not convinced when you lose to a young man like Chen Mu, but now is not the time to get angry. The 5 of us join forces now, and we can securely take down Chen Mu. If you continue to be brave, you will give him a chance to escape. Don't fight Chen Mu alone anymore, and don't compare your strength with him anymore. Such a monster is not something any of us can take down." Several 5 elders did not choose to back down, and reminded them. Before the battle, they still believed that the scarred old man could easily take down Chen Mu. But, with the inexplicable red steam appearing from Chen Mu's body, they knew that they could no longer hand over Chen Mu, the opponent, to the scarred old man alone. Facing the reminders from the 4 people, the scarred old man stubbornly shook his head slightly, and said in a deep voice, "It's just that he got hurt a little carelessly. I will face this guy Chen Mu alone. Don't worry, leave it to me." After hearing his words, the 4-5 elders fell silent, obviously after a long time together. They naturally knew very well that the scarred old man's temper was very stubborn, and it was his decision. Even if the 4 of them hold opposing opinions at the same time, he will go his own way. Since this is the case, we will not intervene for now. 17. The old man holding the sword in his arms put the supreme sharp knife into the scabbard again with a heavy expression. Since the scarred old man wanted to be strong, they gave him a chance to continue fighting Chen Mu. As his voice fell, he and the other 3-5 elders glanced at each other, then nodded slightly. In the next second, they appeared on Chen Mu's left, right, back, and side, completely blocking Chen Mu's escape route. Let Chen Mu only focus on fighting the scarred old man, so that he can't go away. Although they don't decide to do anything now, but, as long as the scarred old man falls, the 4 of them will be swarming. This really doesn't give me a chance to escape. Chen Mu glanced behind him, and whispered to himself in a slightly helpless voice. The scarred old man took off his tattered clothes, revealing his muscular muscles, and still walked towards Chen Mu with a fearless face, and said hoarsely, "Let's continue, Chen Mu." After saying that, the scarred old man wrapped his whole body in top-notch armed colors and conquerors, and then rushed directly to Chen's bed. Chen Mu naturally didn't like to talk nonsense, and rushed towards the scarred old man. Boom! Before the fists of the two collided, a loud noise erupted in the holy land of Mary Geoise. A mushroom cloud of mist was angry, as if someone had dropped a nuclear bomb on this place. The terrifying air current, like the roaring sea waves in a storm, swept in all directions, blowing the robes of the 4-5 elders watching the battle. And those members of the CPO organization have already been blown away by this force tens of meters away. Bang bang bang. Chen Mu's fist kept colliding with the scarred old man, and the space around them was slightly distorted. Chen Mu's strength after opening the 8th gate's death gate far exceeds that of the scarred old man. But, the old man with the scar is the 5 elders after all, possessing the combat power to occupy the top of the world. After covering his whole body with armed colors and conquerors, it is difficult for Chen Mu to completely break through the defense in a short time. However, after this series of punches, it can be seen that the scarred old man can no longer hold on, and drops of cold sweat are dripping down his forehead. Ask for flowers. Boom! As the fists of the two collided again, Chen Mu's body moved back several meters while 5 elders' body moved back a distance of nearly 20 meters. The power gap is obvious. 6 styles, finger pistol. The scarred old man let out a low growl, ready to use the power of Marine 6 styles. Although Marine 6 styles is bad, but that doesn't mean he's not powerful. And it is precisely because of the power of the Marine 6 styles that even after learning the Marine 6 styles initially. But if there is no extreme talent, it is difficult to truly display the power of Marine 6 styles. Point 0. It can be said that the training intensity of Marine 6 styles is not weaker than that of practicing Conqueror's hockey. The scarred old man stretched out an index finger, gathering all the strength and armed conquerors of the whole body on this index finger. Then he rushed towards Chen Mu again. Night guy. Chen Mu let out a low growl, and the aura on his body and the red steam lingering around him became more intense. At this moment, Chen Mu was in a running state, and the red steam surrounding him formed a huge dragon's head. Ka ka ka. The ground below Chen Mu kept making cracking sounds, and the stone was even shaken by this momentum and flew into the air. Chen Mu was like a bow and arrow about to fly away, ready to go. Dragon. It's a dragon. That's the red dragon head gathered by Chen Mu's aura. That's good. So strong, this power is far more terrifying than the power mastered by Master 5 Elders. Quick, go, get out of here, or we will be affected. Hurry up. Quickly withdraw to a distance of 100 meters, I have a hunch that if we are affected by this force, we will definitely die here. Those members of the CPO organization who were originally thrown tens of meters away by the battle. Seeing that Chen Mu was about to unleash such a terrifying force, they immediately became terrified. They got up quickly and ran desperately towards the area 100 meters away without looking back. 153 The battle is over, Chen Mu wins. No, it can't be done, I can't move my legs and feet. I can't control my body anymore. Several members of the CPO organization were completely scared to the ground by this imposing force. Like herbivores, they encountered an absolute natural disaster, and because of the great fear in their hearts, their bodies instinctively stiffened completely. No matter how hard they tried, their bodies couldn't move at all, as if they were glued to the ground. How? How is it possible? Chen Mu's aura is several times stronger than before. Chen Mu, what kind of devil fruit has he mastered, and has he developed it to this extent? This guy's strength is not slightly surpassing rocks. The current Chen Mu has completely surpassed 030 him. The old man with long straight hair foresaw the future of this battle. His pupils constricted violently, and he was sweating profusely. He said hastily, "Quick, we have to go up to help." It is very difficult for him to resist Chen Mu's attack. It's too late. As the sound fell, the Holy Land Mary Geoise made quite a shocking sound. Boom! Chen Mu charged up, and in the next second he rushed directly towards the scarred old man, leaving a deep chasm on the extremely hard ground along the way, with sand and stone flying around like foam. The faucet formed by the red steam in front of Chen Mu moved forward in an unstoppable and destroying posture. Chen Mu. With the roar of the scarred old man, the distance between Chen Mu and him was also approaching at an extremely fast speed. Although he knew that the power of Chen Mu's attack was terrifying, but he never thought of escaping. At the moment when Chen Mu's body was about to approach the scarred old man, Chen Mu jumped up slightly and then kicked hard at the scarred old man. The huge red dragon head swallowed the scarred old man instantly. Night guy. Boom. The Marine 6 Styles finger pistol, which the scarred old man gathered all his strength, collided with Chen Mu's foot for only a second. A force that the scarred old man couldn't bear, penetrated into his index finger in an instant. The scarred old man covered the top armed conquerors, as well as the index finger with all the strength, and it was directly broken. Chen Mu's legs and feet are straight on the chest of the scarred old man. There was a roaring sound strong enough to pierce the eardrums, and the body of the scarred old man fell to the ground and moved back a distance of 100 meters. Along the way, a deep gap was left that could not be seen at a glance. The body of the scarred old man crashed into the ruins 100 meters away again. The entire red line was hit by this blow. They all trembled, and countless buildings in the Sabodi archipelago at the bottom of the red line were shaken. Withstanding Chen Mu's deadly door and Night Guy's full blow head-on, even the scarred old man occupies the top of the world at this moment. It is almost impossible to stand up in a short time. It's over, the 5 elders are defeated. Chen Mu actually defeated the 5 elders. The 5 elders, who exist like the gods who symbolize the world government, have unexpectedly lost to Chen Mu today. Wasn't this guy just an intern a few years ago? Why is he so powerful? The CPO organization, which had already run 100 meters away, felt the shock just now, as well as the 5 elders at the end of the horizon that had been completely covered by ruins. They know. The winner between Chen Mu and the scarred old man has been decided. The final winner is New World's top pirate, Chen Mu, who has a bounty of 5.1 billion Baileys. Damn it, I just said don't let this bastard be brave. Chen Mu's strength is now estimated to be higher than any of us. Don't be careless, let's go together. Take Chen Mu now. If he escapes from the Holy Land, then the consequences will be disastrous. Chen Mu's current strength is enough to defeat an old friend of theirs. However, Chen Mu's talent probably hasn't reached its end yet. If it is allowed to continue to grow, even they can't imagine what a terrifying height Chen Mu's strength will reach. The old man holding the sword in his arms looked extremely heavy, pulled out the devil may cry from the scabbard, and said solemnly, "Today is probably our only chance to take down Chen Mu. Don't keep your strength. Even if only the 4 of us work together, we can get rid of Chen Mu." Following the sound, the 5 elders rushed towards Chen Mu at the same time. None of them is Chen Mu's opponent, but The four of them teamed up. Even if Chen Mu's strength is twice as strong, they still have the confidence to win. Chen Mu clenched his fists and said in a low voice, "This move really consumes enough energy. Turn on 8 inner gates, although there will be no fatal ending, and there will be no side effects. But there is still a disadvantage, that is, it consumes a lot of energy." Especially after releasing Yi Gai, Chen Mu felt that his physical strength was rapidly disappearing. Chen Mu raised his head slightly, feeling the strong killing intent and fighting intent coming from all directions. Chen Mu now has no idea of continuing to fight. Celestial Dragon's treasury, he's empty. The enemy that was not defeated a year ago has successfully defeated it today. Next, it's time to leave. Frozen dust. Chen Mu slammed lightly, and in the next second, a terrifying cold air continuously spread out from Chen Mu's body. The cold air rushed out of the body, and the surrounding temperature was directly close to absolute 03.6. Ka. The cold air froze quickly, and in the blink of an eye, the entire area with a radius of tens of meters was frozen. Not only the ground was frozen, but also the space. This is the terrifying power of the essence of demons. The terrifying temperature has the power to freeze space. How does it feel? The physical exertion is more than I imagined. Chen Mu breathed a sigh of relief, slightly surprised. He remembered that when he froze Tiger and the surrounding space in Dressrosa, he didn't expend too much energy. But now, after Chen Mu froze the space around the 4-5 elders, Chen Mu obviously felt a lot of physical loss. But now is not the time to think so much. Chen Mu quickly set off and ran towards the distance. 154 leaving the Holy Land a second later, the surrounding controlled space was unsealed, and the 4-5 elders looked at each other. They were all surprised what happened at that second just now. They seemed to have lost consciousness. But now is not the time to think about that. They watched Chen Mu, who had already escaped dozens of meters away, and chased after him again. The blonde-haired old man approached Chen Mu step by step, and roared, "Today, there is no way we will let you leave Chen Mu of the Holy Land Mary Geoise alive." Similarly, the other 3 elders were also chasing Chen Mu at the limit speed of their bodies. Since Chen Mu's physical strength has been consumed too much, so their current speed is even higher than Chen Mu's. I believe that if this continues, they will catch up with Chen Mu in a short time. Damn it. Chen Mu turned around and looked at the 4-5 elders who were chasing him, frowning slightly. In the next second, a terrible cold air surged out of Chen Mu's body again, and the cold air poured out in full force. Once again, the space around the 4-5 elders was completely frozen, and the ground that was originally destroyed was also covered with an unstoppable layer of ice. After freezing the space, Chen Mu felt that his physical strength was greatly reduced again. Chen Mu almost understood at this moment that freezing the space also depends on the level of the strong in the space. For a weak person, the physical energy he needs to freeze is very little. But if he is strong, he will consume a lot of energy. In addition, this ability is very pervert. After using it once, the next time you use it, you will consume twice as much stamina. For this limitation, Chen Mu is still acceptable. Because if freezing the space does not consume a lot of physical strength, then dare to ask, who else in this world can be his enemy? During the 1 second that froze the 4-5 elders, Chen Mu once again rushed a distance of nearly 100 meters. With the 4-5 elders far behind, he rushed to the edge of the Holy Land Mary Geoise at great speed. Seeing that Chen Mu's figure had disappeared at the end of the horizon, the old man in a suit looked extremely serious and asked in confusion, "This? What kind of ability is this? Ice? Thoughts are frozen?" It seems that you have also noticed that Chen Mu's ability is weird. In that second, our thoughts seemed to be emptied. Could it be the power to freeze time and space? The long straight-haired old man couldn't help but gasp and said in shock. In this world, there are countless demon fruit power. Of course, there are also countless capable people with bugs. But the ability to freeze time and space, even their thinking, too. It was the first time they met, and the first time they learned. Thinking back on everything he knew about Chen Mu, the blonde old man couldn't help breaking out in a cold sweat. The strength increase brought by the red steam, the Senju Buddha statue, flames, freezing time and space, recovering physical strength in a very short period of time, unparalleled talent. This guy Chen Mu. Is he really human? The above abilities can be given to any pirate in the sea. All of them can cultivate a terrible enemy who can destroy the sea. But with all these abilities gathered in one person, Chen Mu is even more terrifying than a monster. It's not an exaggeration to call it a devil. They thought that Chen Mu came to the Holy Land to die, but unexpectedly, they suffered a big loss. If they had known this earlier, they should also remain tough in the face of the tough attitude of the scarred old man. The 5 of them teamed up to completely block Chen Mu's route. Even if Chen Mu has the power to freeze time and space, they can keep it. But it's a pity. Because of the bravery of the scarred old man, their siege was missing a corner. And this gap was also used by Chen Mu, and successfully escaped from the Holy Land Mary Geoise. On the other side, Naval Headquarters. Kong, Sengoku, Zephyr, Garp, Crane. 5 people were sitting in the same office, and they didn't discuss anything special at this time. But he didn't leave the office, just waiting for the call bug from the Marine Vice Admiral in the Holy Land Mary Geoise. Blue, 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 brew. The crisp sound of the phone bug came to the ears of the 5 people. At this time, they all set their eyes on the phone bug. It seems that we are about to hear good news, Kong said with a smile on his face. He put his chin in his hands and said solemnly, I hope that oolong incident will not happen again this time. It's impossible for this situation to happen. Although Chen Mu is indeed a veritable geek, he is not invincible. Zephyr leaned on the sofa, folded his hands on his chest, and said. Neither Sengoku nor Garp spoke, they just stared at the phone bug. At this moment, their hearts were still excited. After all, thinking about it carefully, no matter how strong Chen Mu is, it is impossible for him to escape from the hands of the 5 elders. Kong picked up the phone bug on the table, put it to his ear and said, Hi, I'm Kong. The nervous voice of Marine Vice Admiral came from 320 on the opposite side of the phone bug. Steel, Marshal Kong. Is the battle over? Yes, the battle is over. Kong said slowly. Then Chen Mu. How is it now? Don't joke with me that Chen Mu is still alive. I think you know very well that I really hate jokes. Hearing Kong's words, Marine Vice Admiral swallowed involuntarily as soon as they came to his lips, and then fell silent for a few seconds. Sengoku, Garp, Zephyr, he, and Kong frowned slightly when they saw that the phone bug hadn't heard the sound. After hesitating for a long time, Marine Vice Admiral decided to tell the truth about what happened in the Holy Land of Mary Geoise. He swallowed and said, Chen Mu is still alive. A 5 elders lost to Chen Mu got it. Snapped. With the voice of Marine Vice Admiral falling, the veins on Kong's forehead popped out, and he slapped the phone bug in his hand on the table. The phone bug's body exploded directly, blood staining Kong's palm and clothes red. And the table fell apart because it couldn't bear Kong's power. Damn, why such a result? Kong cursed with a ferocious expression. 155 Kaido, Silver Axe, Ochaku, Burndi allied after a few days. News about the Holy Land of Mary Geoise has also been released. Because the turmoil from Redline is too great, it is difficult to hide this news. But, the content of the news is that Chen Mu appeared in the Holy Land of Mary Geoise and was seriously injured by the powerful of the world government and escaped. For the defeat of the 5 elders, there is no mention of it. Following the news of the Holy Land of Mary Geoise, there was another far-reaching news from the NC. The great pirate of New World, Silver Axe, Ochaku, Kaido, Burndi allied. Originally, the world government was planning to win over 5 big pirates to form an alliance to deal with Chen Mu. But, Golden Lion declined their invitation. Now, only the 4 of them are allied. Wanokuni, inside. Kaido, Silver Axe, Ochaku, Burndi the 4 allied big pirates gathered together and were discussing something. Chen Mu, did you attack the Holy Land with just one person? What a madman. Ochaku stared at the newspaper in his hand and said grimly. But this bastard is really lucky, he didn't die in the Holy Land, Silver Axe snorted coldly. Burndi folded his hands on his chest and said calmly, wouldn't it be a pity to let Chen Mu die in the Holy Land? This guy should be terminated by the 4 of us. Burndi has not complained since losing to Chen Mu a few years ago. For Chen Mu, a very threatening man, he naturally wanted to get rid of him. And that's why he agreed to the CPO captain's invitation to form an alliance with these 3. That's true, but that bastard Shiki is really a complete idiot. He had the opportunity to get rid of Chen Mu, but he chose to refuse. Silver Axe suddenly suggested, after killing Chen Mu, let's kill that bastard Shiki as well. Now the 4 of them form an alliance and join forces, it can be said that they are almost fearless. Although all 4 of them were defeated by Chen Mu, Chen Mu's strength gave them a great psychological shadow. But, they don't believe that the 4 of them are still not Chen Mu's opponent. From Silver Axe's point of view, Chen Mu can be won steadily. After taking Chen Mu, he can choose not to disband the alliance, and then get rid of Golden Lion. In this way, New World can almost be said to be dominated by a few people. Ochaku took the lead in expressing his opinion. Shiki and Chen Mu still have some relationship. It is not ruled out that after we kill Chen Mu, Shiki, a bastard, will come to trouble us, so I think that after Chen Mu gets rid of, Shiki will also get rid of him. Can kill. Then let's do this. After killing Shiki, we will dissolve the alliance. Burndi nodded. The 4 of them are all big pirates of New World, and because of Chen Mu, they put down their faces and formed an alliance. If this is the case, then why not do more while forming an alliance? What's your opinion, Kaido? Silver Axe questioned, setting his eyes on Kaido. Kaido sat in the center, took a big gulp of the wine gourd, and then said hoarsely, I have no objection, but, after I meet Chen Mu, I would like to have a second copulate with him. Hearing this, Silver Axe frowned slightly and scolded. What are you thinking, idiot? We are not even Chen Mu's opponents. Do you think you can defeat Chen Mu by yourself? Silver Axe and Ochaku teamed up, neither is Chen Mu's opponent. Picking Chen Mu, this idea seems to him to be extremely stupid. Kaido frowned slightly, and snorted coldly. Don't forget Silver Axe, this place is Laozi's domain. As Kaido fell, Jin, Quinn, and a large group of pirates rushed in quickly, aiming their weapons at Silver Axe. "You bastard, do you want to fight?" Silver Axe held a huge axe and looked directly at Kaido and said coldly. "Do you think Laozi is afraid of you?" Kaido stood up, holding a mace with a grim expression on his face. Seeing that the two were about to fight, Ochaku stood in the middle of the two and said solemnly, "Stop arguing, we are now in an alliance state. If the alliance is interrupted because of the conflict between the two of you, when Chen Mu comes to the door, all of us will die." Burndi Wald chimed in. "Our enemy is Chen Mu, not any of the four of us, get it? You two idiots." All four of them had violent tempers, and if it wasn't for Chen Mu's reasons, it would be impossible for them to get together. But even if they were gathered together, several people would not accept each other. New World, a certain island. Since Mary Geoise escaped from the Holy Land, Chen Shu came to this island. Temporarily hid in seclusion to recover some physical strength. After all, the battle in the Holy Land of Mary Geoise cost too much. It took several days to recover before returning to peak condition. Chen Mu came to the beach, clapped his hands together and saw a big boat appeared in front of him. He jumped up and came to the boat, and then it was time to return to the main country of Dressrosa. In the treasury of celestial dragons, he got jewels worth tens of billions of Baileys. This time, he plans to increase the price of devil fruit to 2 billion Baileys. In this way, I believe that most of the people who hold devil fruit will choose to trade with Chen Mu. Backquote by the way, devil fruit was also collected in the Holy Land. Chen Mu suddenly remembered that there are already 16 devil fruits in the frog's room. Chen Mu clicked on the frog's room and took out 15 devil fruits. Then he clicked into the mall on the virtual panel and bought an ability promotion card. Ding, congratulations to host, the purchase was successful, and the ability promotion card X1 was obtained. After purchasing, Mei Wanghao, Chen Mu opened his property panel. Prepare to think about it, and then you need to improve that ability. Host, Chen Mu. Abilities, Armament Hockey Top, Observation Hockey Advanced, Conqueror's Hockey Top. Physique, Copper-skinned Iron Bone Physique is in the middle stage. Special abilities, 8 Inner Gates, 8 Gate, Fire Dragon Slayer Magic Advanced, Wood Style Middle Stage, Immortal Art Middle Stage, Demon Essence Middle Stage. Today, Chen Mu's 8 Inner Gates has reached the highest level, and the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic is an advanced level. Others are all at the midterm level. Chen Mu rubbed his chin with his hands, carefully watching the abilities on the attribute panel. In the end, Chen Mu decided to use this ability promotion card to upgrade the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic. Now the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic is advanced, and the use of ability promotion cards will reach the top level. With such power, there will be a general improvement in quality. 156 successful promotion to the top Dragon Slayer Magic. Thinking of this, Chen Mu no longer hesitated. Promote Fire Dragon Slayer Magic. Ding, congratulations to host, you have successfully used it, and you can consume ability promotion card X1. Ding, congratulations host, the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic has reached the top level. As the system's notification tone fell, a strange force poured into Chen Mu's body in the next second. Chen Mu's body was as if he was in the skyfire, but this force did not hurt him, instead it was very gentle. Ding, congratulations, host, for awakening the power of dragon transformation. System prompt. Host can now transform into a dragon or use a human form at will. And the host can use any power related to the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic. The meaning of the system is very simple, that is, as long as it is the power of the Fire Dragon Slaying Magic that appeared in the original book, Chen Mu can use all of them. Of course, you can also switch forms freely, whether it is a dragon or human form. Dragon transformation? Chen Mu whispered to himself. With Chen Mu's thought, dragon scales appeared on his body in the next second, but in a moment, Chen Mu's body turned into a huge fire dragon. At this time, his body is so huge that it can almost be described as covering the sky and blocking out the sun. After transforming into a dragon, Chen Mu could feel that his strength and defense had been boosted again. If Chen Mu does not use 387 armament hockey, the hardness of his body in the normal state is the high-level armed color. So, after the dragon transformation, without wrapping armament hockey, his body hardness has still reached the hardness of the top-level armed color. After performing dragon transformation, if you wrap the top armament hockey again, then, his body is equivalent to being wrapped with 2 layers of top-level armed colors. This level of defense can be imagined. Chen Mu believed that even if he stood still and let the 5 elders attack him, it would be difficult for the opponent to injure him severely. I have to say that using the ability promotion card to upgrade the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic is indeed the most correct choice. In addition to the dragon transformation, the memory of other moves about the Fire Dragon Slayer Magic has also entered Chen Mu's mind. Now, Chen Mu's strength has been greatly enhanced again. In this case, it seems that there will be no need for ships in the future. After Chen Mu transformed into a dragon, he flew high into the sky, looked at the sea below him, and said to himself. After becoming a dragon, Chen Mu can naturally fly freely at high altitudes. Much faster than using a boat. just when Chen Mu wanted to use the dragon form and fly back to Dressrosa. The voice of the phone bug rang. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, brew. Hearing the sound of the phone bug, Chen Mu switched into a human form. But, Chen Mu discovered after switching, that even the human form can fly in the air. Chen Mu took out the phone bug on his waist, looked at it suspiciously, and then chose to answer it. On the opposite side of the phone bug, came an unfamiliar voice with a slightly hoarse tone. Yes, Chen Mu? Chen Mu raised his brows slightly upon hearing this completely unimpressive voice. You may not know me, but I know you'll need me. The tone is quite loud. I have researched the bloodline factor, and I have already researched the first devil fruit. As long as you give me enough funds, I can make countless man-made devil fruits for you. But if you want to say why Vegapunk found Chen Mu, it is entirely because Chen Mu's funds are too strong. Before Roger's era has come, you can buy devil fruit with 1 billion Baileys all over the world. Even Vegapunk is greedy for such funds, but if he was just greedy for Chen Mu's funds, he wouldn't have called in person. He is because a traitor has leaked the research secrets here, and he believes that people from Marine, or the world government will come to his door and arrest him soon. Instead of being taken away to work for Marine, be bound. It's better to form a cooperative relationship with Chen Mu to achieve the role of shelter. Bloodline factor? Are you Vegapunk? Chen Mu recalled some things in the original book. Vegapunk is the greatest scientist in the pirate world, known as a man with 500 years of technology beyond human. The future Geisa developed the Zone Devil Fruit by using the power of the bloodline factor. But, the introduction in the original book is that Vegapunk was the first to research the secret of devil fruit and create the first man-made devil fruit. Oh, can a monster like you know my name? Vegapunk was slightly surprised. It doesn't matter, is what you just said true? As long as I give you enough funds, you can develop countless man-made devil fruit? Chen Mu asked. It's true that Garpunk developed artificial devil fruit. But, he's not sure how productive the Vegapunk is, and how often it will take to make one. Yes, the cost of producing an artificial devil fruit is only 100 million berries. When the scientific research technology matures, the manufacturing cost will be even lower. If there is no accident, my current team can produce 3 for you in about a month. Come on, Vegapunk said truthfully. Chen Mu nodded and said, 3? That's not bad. If so, there is no need for him to go to Dressrosa and then buy devil fruit at a high price from the world. Although Chen Mu does not lack funds for acquisitions, he is in a bright position after all. Doing so will inevitably lead to attacks, and Chen Mu was indeed attacked by Buster Call led by Marine Admiral Garp. Naval Headquarters Chen Mu is not afraid. The only thing he is slightly worried about is that the 5 elders in the Holy Land will come to him to fight in the lower realm. With Chen Mu's current strength, he is sure to win in one-on-one duels. But, if the 5 join forces, even Chen Mu is not sure of victory. If I am, who lives in seclusion behind the world government, also makes a move, then the suspense will be great. If it is possible to prevent troubles, Chen Mu naturally still thinks it is safe and feasible. Where are you now? Chen Mu asked. The Organ Island of the Grand Line, the future kingdom of Balkia. Vegapunk responded truthfully. I see. Chen Mu nodded, then hung up the phone, and then left for the Grand Line. 157 Meet the world's greatest scientist Vegapunk for the first time. After a few days, Grand Line, a certain sea area. There is a marine battleship sailing here, and standing on the bow of this battleship is Marine Admiral Sengoku. He was ordered to go to the Organ Island of the Grand Line, the future kingdom of Balkamoa country. Catch Vegapunk et al. For their extraordinary research. Even the world government is very concerned about this Vegapunk who has done extraordinary research. That's why they sent Marine Admiral to hunt it down himself. Sengoku turned his head to look at the helmsman and asked, when will we be there? Back to Sengoku Admiral, in less than a day, we can reach the kingdom of Balkamoa. Less than a day? Sengoku mused, rubbing his chin with his hand. In the cabin, Momosagi came out and said, according to the information we have received, the people who conducted extraordinary research are still in that country and have not left, even though they have received information about our marine, but they cannot all retreat in less than a day. That's good. Sengoku nodded reassuringly. Sengoku sighed and continued. It seems that this mission can be successfully completed. Recently, due to the existence of Chen Mu, our marine, everything is not going well. Marshal Kong said that as long as we can find Vegapunk, we have a chance to defeat Chen Mu. Is this true, Sengoku Admiral? Momosagi asked curiously. The reason why Chen Mu is so strong is because he has delved into the secret of devil fruit, and the illegal experiment conducted by Vegapunk is also related to devil fruit. I believe that as long as we can bring Vegapunk back, we may also know some secrets about Chen Mu, so that we can carry out plans against Chen Shu. Chen Mu has extraordinary abilities and can release all kinds of terrifying abilities. This is something that the powerhouses of the entire sea know very well. Everyone is sure that Chen Mu has definitely delved into the secret of devil fruit to become so strong. And if they want to target Chen Mu, they naturally have to find an expert, and Vegapunk is a suitable candidate in their marine eyes. After all, Vegapunk, the research that has been going on, is all about devil fruit. I see. Momoshagi nodded half understanding, and at this moment, a Marine Rear Admiral ran over and said in a panic, "Zan. Sengoku Admiral, it's not good." Sengoku frowned slightly, turned his gaze to Rear Admiral and asked, "What happened?" "According to the information we just received, Chen Mu appeared in Saboti Archipelago a day ago." Chen Mu? When Sengoku heard this name, his pupils contracted violently. The name Chen Mu has a terrible dominance over this sea. Whether it is the pirates or their marines, they are all afraid of Chen Mu. What is Chen Mu doing in Saboti Archipelago? Momoshagi wondered. "No. I don't know. I heard that Chen Mu didn't stay in Saboti Archipelago for a long time, but left directly. As for where he went, we haven't received any information about it." Marine Rear Admiral told the information he got in detail. Sengoku said with a very headache, "This guy Chen Mu, why did he appear on the Grand Line? Shouldn't he stay in New World?" Although he didn't know why Chen Mu came to Grand Line. "But, when I think about where I am now, it is a certain sea area of the Grand Line." This immediately made Sengoku feel bad. Momoshagi rubbed his chin with his hand, and expressed his opinion. Could it be that the battle in the Holy Land, Chen Mu suffered heavy injuries, so he dare not stay in the New World any longer? In this way, it is possible. 27 Although Chen Mu escaped from the Holy Land Mary Geoise, but, after all, he had a head-on conflict with the Five Elders, and it is normal to be injured. It is likely that he ran to the Grand Line in order to recover from his injuries and avoid the pursuit of the world government's forces. A top vice admiral standing next to Sengoku said slightly worried, "However, since Chen Mu has also come to Grand Line, will his goal be the same as ours, all for Vegapunk? This is impossible. No one in Vegapunk knows his name except the world government and the Balkamoa Kingdom. Chen Mu has been in New World from the beginning to the end, and has never been to the Grand Line. How could he be like us? The same goal as last time?" Sengoku shook his head in affirmation. Zero looking for flowers. Even Sengoku, who is admiral, didn't know about Vegapunk's name at first. It was only when the world government informed him that he knew that Grand Line had such a number one person. And Chen Mu has been in New World from beginning to end. This is his first time at Grand Line. How could he know the name of Vegapunk? However, I hope we meet Chen Mu on the Grand Line. His current bounty has reached 6 billion Baileys. If we meet, 1. It is very likely that the entire army will be wiped out of. After Chen Mu defeated Marine Admiral Garp, the bounty has risen to 5.1 billion Baileys. 0. But, since the battle between the Holy Land Mary Geoise and the Five Elders, his bounty has soared to a full 6 billion Baileys. Compared with the overlord of the previous era, Rox is 1.3 billion Pele higher. In this era, although Chen Mu is alone, it can definitely be called his era. Sengoku clasped his hands behind his back and shook his head slightly, affirming, "Don't worry, we won't be so lucky." The scope of the Grand Line is very wide. Chen Mu's purpose is to avoid the world government's pursuit and recover from his injuries. And the purpose of their marine is to capture the Vegapunk who is experimenting with devil fruit. No matter what, it is impossible for them to meet each other. Grand Line, the future kingdom of Balkamoa Nation. After several days, Chen Mu finally rushed from New World to Grand Line. As soon as he approached the shore, Chen Mu proceeded along the route that Vegapunk suggested in the phone bug. Finally, after a while, Chen Mu came to the gate of the experimental base where Vegapunk was conducting experiments. Ka. The door in front of Chen Mu slowly opened, and a young man came out from it. This man is none other than the greatest scientist in the entire pirate world, Vegapunk. "Nice meeting, Chen Mu." Vegapunk raised his arms slightly and greeted Chen Mu. 158 Sengoku arrival. I have to say that Vegapunk still has the guts. If other people had met Chen Mu, they would have been scared out of their wits long ago. Even for an existence like Marine Admiral, Chen Mu is as reluctant to get close to him as if he were avoiding the plague. And Vegapunk is just an ordinary person, but after seeing Chen Mu, not only did he not have the slightest fear. Instead, he smiled and greeted him. "Vegapunk?" Chen Mu asked, looking away from Vegapunk. Although there is an introduction about Vegapunk in the original book, there are no photos showing his face. So whether the man in front of him is Vegapunk, Chen Mu is still not sure. "It's right down." Chen Mu nodded, and then asked, "So, what about the man-made devil fruit? Take it out and let me have a look." Vegapunk took out an artificial devil fruit from the 973 backpack behind him, and handed it to Chen Mu. Chen Mu took the man-made devil fruit, and then asked the system inwardly, "Can the man-made devil fruit be treated as a normal devil fruit in exchange for things in the mall?" Ding, system scanning. As the sound of the system fell, the system began to detect the devil fruit composition in Chen Mu's hand. System prompt. The devil fruit in the host's hand can only be regarded as a semi-successful product, and cannot be regarded as a normal product in the devil fruit exchange mall. After being prompted by the system, Chen Mu looked at the devil fruit in his hand, then turned his attention to Vegapunk and asked, "This devil fruit is only a semi-finished product, can't you make a finished product with your current scientific research level?" If Vegapunk can't make the complete devil fruit, then Vegapunk has no need to live. After all, from New World to Grand Line, Vegapunk just researched a semi-finished product that cannot be exchanged for products in the mall. Hearing this, Vegapunk scratched his head and laughed loudly. Ha ha ha. I didn't expect you to be an expert, you were right, this devil fruit is indeed a semi-finished product. As his voice fell, a murderous intent emerged from Chen Mu's body. Feeling the killing intent, Vegapunk broke out in a cold sweat and backed away, explaining. The reason why we can only develop a semi-finished product is because we cannot develop a complete devil fruit with the scientific research funds we currently hold. As long as there is sufficient financial support, as I said in the phone bug, we can produce 3 devil fruits in a month. Yeah? Vegapunk nodded vigorously and said, how dare I contact you if I don't have the confidence to develop a complete devil fruit product? That's good, but before that, I still warn you that the consequences of lying to me are very heavy. Even if you are protected by the world government, I will kill you. Of course. Vegapunk nodded with an apologetic smile. In that case, show me your experimental base, Chen Mu ordered. Of course, no problem. Vegapunk nodded, and then led Chen Mu into his test base. Although the area of the test base is small, it is carrying out various cumbersome and complicated procedures. After visiting the test site, Vegapunk ordered the chef to cook delicious dishes and treat Chen Mu with the most delicious wine in the country. At the dinner table, Vegapunk said, but then again, when are we going to leave the country? Evacuate? Why do you want to evacuate? Chen Mu asked suspiciously. Didn't I explain the situation here in the phone bug? Vegapunk scratched his head. What's the matter? Vegapunk talked to Chen Mu, just said a few words, and then reported the location, and then there was nothing else. Chen Mu doesn't know what Vegapunk is talking about now. It seems that I was on the phone bug and forgot to explain the situation to you. A traitor appeared in our base and told the people of the world government the results of this experiment. If there is no accident, now the world government has sent troops here, Vegapunk said truthfully. If it wasn't because of a traitor leaking the secret, he wouldn't have contacted Chen Mu. Yeah? After hearing this, Chen Mu didn't take this sentence to heart, but continued to eat. He can even fight against the 5 elders of the world government, so why be afraid of the troops sent by the world government? Even if the 5 elders of the world government personally dispatched him, he would not be afraid. In just a few days, his physical strength has recovered to its peak, 0. In the hands of the 5 elders, he may not escape. But, don't forget that the scarred old man has been severely injured by Chen Mu. If you can come here, there are only 4 or 5 elders at most. Chen Mu was quite sure of escaping from this group of people. So he wasn't worried at all. It seems that you want to fight against them, but, before that, I have a request, Chen Mu. I hope you will be merciful and don't destroy this country. After all, this is the place where I have lived. What Vegapunk is worried about is not that the reinforcements sent by the world government will pose a threat to them. After all, Chen Mu, the top pirate with a bounty of 6 billion Baileys, is by his side, who poses a threat to them. The only thing Vegapunk is worried about, after the manpower sent by the world government came, he fought with Chen Mu, so his country is likely to be destroyed by Chen Mu. Vegapunk is on the Grand Line though. But Vegapunk is still very clear about the rumors about Chen Mu and the extent to which the country that Chen Mu fought has been destroyed. After Vegapunk finished speaking, he stood up and bowed deeply. I hope you can agree to my only condition. I'm not a heinous villain, don't worry, I will definitely agree to the only request of my allies. Then thank you. Point 2.5. In less than half a day, I was on the coast of the future kingdom of Balkamoa. A marine battleship appears, this time the operation to capture Vegapunk. Their naval headquarters dispatched a Marine Admiral Sengoku, an alternate Admiral Momosagi, and a top Vice Admiral, plus a few rear admirals, and hundreds of Marine elites. Vegapunk is just a scientist. Logically speaking, he only needs to dispatch a rear admiral to complete the task easily. But, whether it is the world government or the naval headquarters, they all think that as long as they can take away Vegapunk, they will be able to research the secret against Chen Mu, so, they are very concerned about this task. Just to capture a scientist, they decided to send so many troops. 159 Sengoku. Why is Chen Mu here? After Sengoku disembarked, he looked at hundreds of marine elites and ordered. You are stationed at the port of this country, blocking any ships in this country, no matter who is on board, you cannot let him leave this country. Yes, Sengoku Admiral, hundreds of marine elites spoke in unison. Then 100 of these hundreds of people began to go to the locations of various ports in this country. Sengoku stared at Momosagi, Vice Admiral Rear Admiral and the remaining 100 soldiers and said, next, let's bring Vegapunk back. Yes. Sengoku Tenka. Everyone entered the interior of the island. After a brief inquiry, they came to the experimental base where Vegapunk and others were conducting research. Sengoku was not in a hurry to destroy the gate in front of him, but ordered to the people around him. You guys, go and seal the entrances and exits of this base, and don't let anyone leave. After receiving Sengoku's order, everyone left without hesitation, and quickly left the place, looking for a possible escape from the base. When they successfully arrived at the various entrances and exits of the experimental base, they used the phone bug to report the situation to Sengoku. Sengoku hung up the phone worm in his hand, then looked at the door in front of him and said, "It's time, see if we can defeat the Chen Mu worm in the future and bring Vegapunk back to the marine base." I saw Sengoku clenched his fist slightly, trying to punch open the door in front of him and break in. Ka ka ka. The front door opened slowly, and Vegapunk appeared in front of Sengoku. The moment Sengoku saw Vegapunk, he was taken aback for a moment, then recalled the photos about Vegapunk, and smiled on his face. "I found you, Vegapunk." Sengoku didn't expect that this mission went more smoothly than he imagined. Before destroying the gate, Vegapunk appeared directly in front of him. Marine Admiral Sengoku? Seeing the man in front of him, Vegapunk was a little surprised. He knew that the world government would send someone to arrest him, but he didn't expect it either. It turned out to be the highest combat power of Naval Headquarters, and Marine Admiral personally dispatched to carry out this capture mission. Sengoku stared at the man in front of him, and said slowly, "Nice meeting, Vegapunk. Our Marine suspects that you have engaged in illegal research, so we invite you to leave with us." "Sorry, excuse me for refusing." Vegapunk shook his head slightly. "You have no choice in this kind of thing. Vegapunk is likely to be the key to defeating Chen Mu. So, anyway, today Sengoku will definitely take Vegapunk." Vegapunk didn't respond to Sengoku's words, but shouted into the test base, "Chen Mu, someone is here for you." After hearing this, Sengoku snorted coldly and said, "I advise you to give up seeking support, Vegapunk. No matter who comes today, I will definitely take you away." "Wait, who did you just say?" Sengoku suddenly realized, did Vegapunk call Chen Mu's name just now, and froze in place. I saw Chen Mu yawned, slowly walked from the research base, appeared in front of the two of them, and said, "Oh, who is looking for me?" Chen Mu. The moment Sengoku saw Chen Mu, he broke out in a cold sweat and couldn't help but backed up repeatedly. Then he only played against Chen Mu a few years ago, when his strength had not yet grown. After that, he never fought Chen Mu again, but this does not mean that Sengoku is not afraid of Chen Mu's strength. Chen Mu's record in the sea these days, Sengoku is vivid. Slay John, defeat Silver Axe's alliance with Ochaku, defeat the Golden Lion. This solves the mediocrity imposed by their naval headquarters. And a few days ago, they even broke into the Holy Land Mary Geoise, defeated 1-5 elders, and escaped from the hands of the other 4-5 elders. Sengoku still remembers everything about Chen Mu. Chen Mu put his eyes on Sengoku and said with a smile, "Oh, we meet again, Sengoku." Chen Mu hasn't seen Sengoku for a long time since the Battle of the Valley of the Gods. Seeing Chen Mu approaching step by step, Sengoku couldn't help but took a few steps back and said, Chen Mu, why are you here? How do you know Begirk? Doesn't Chen Mu live in New World? Shouldn't this be Chen Mu's first visit to the Grand Line? Why Chen Mu is in this country? Why Chen Mu knows Vegapunk? All these are questions in Sengoku's mind. I thought that this mission was foolproof. They dispatched so many troops from Naval Headquarters. Even encountering such big pirates as Whitebeard and Golden Lion. They can also be taken from the Vice Admiral Vegapunk. But Sengoku never thought that Chen Mu would appear here. Chen Mu stood beside Vegapunk, looked at Sengoku and said flatly, "It's a bit troublesome to explain, so I won't explain too much, but I can't let your Marine take this guy away." Chen Mu. At this moment, Momoshage, a top Vice Admiral, and 3 Marine Rear Admirals rushed here, and when they noticed Chen Mu, they were all startled. They were originally confused because Sengoku hadn't made a move for a long time, so they ran over to take a look. Unexpectedly, when they arrived at the scene, they met a man they never dreamed of meeting. Momoshage's mind was full of unanswered questions, staring at Chen Mu with an incredulous look on his face. How are you here?" Chen Mu didn't answer his words, but looked at them with a smile and said, "It's just to arrest an ordinary scientist. It's worth sending so many of you Marines. The troops deployed by Marine this time have a good chance of winning even against big pirates like Whitebeard and Golden Lion." Marine Rear Admiral couldn't help swallowing, and asked nervously, "Zan, Sengoku Admiral, what should we do? Chen Mu can even defeat the 5 elders. In front of Chen Mu, Marine Rear Admiral is not even considered cannon fodder." Sengoku took a deep breath and said solemnly, "No matter what, Vegapunk must be taken away today." Although Sengoku knew that he was probably not Chen Da's opponent. But, now that Vegapunk is right around the corner, their chances of possibly defeating Chen Mu are only 1 step away. So, they can't retreat today, at least they have to take Vegapunk away. Ask for a full order, ask for flowers. 160 Sengoku Devil Fruit Ability, Buddha Form. Having said that, Sengoku directly took off the cloak of justice behind him and stared at Chen Mu solemnly. "I'm fighting with Chen Mu, you find a chance to take Vegapunk." Sengoku continued to order. "Yes, Sengoku Admiral," several people said in unison. Even though he knew that it would be very stupid not to run away when he met Chen Mu. But now, they have no way out, no matter what today, no matter how painful the price is, they must take Vegapunk away. Chen Mu spread his arms and said calmly, "I'll give you the chance to escape, don't cherish it, Sengoku." Sengoku took a deep breath, and said with a serious face, "We have no way out, Chen Mu. I won't run away if I don't take Vegapunk with me today." It seems that there is nothing to say. I saw that Chen Mu's fist was in the state of dragon transformation, and his palm directly transformed into dragon claws. Chen Mu is now free to transform into a dragon, of course. You can also perform a single dragon transformation on any part of the body. Dragon. Dragon claw. Chen Mu still has the power to transform into a dragon? How is this possible? Isn't Chen Mu's power naturally related to plants? How does he still have this power? Several rear admirals watching the battle were shocked when they saw Chen Mu's fist turned into a dragon's claw. Dragonization. Shouldn't this be an ability only possessed by devil fruit like Zone? Why is Chen Mu's ability linked to abilities like Zone's? Come on, Chen Mu. Sengoku looked directly at Chen Mu. His fists were covered with advanced arm colors, and he seemed to rush towards Chen Mu without fear. Boom! Sengoku's fist collided with Chen Mu's dragon claw, but in just 1 second, beads of sweat covered Sengoku's forehead. The arm that collided with Chen Mu was also trembling slightly at this moment. Even if Chen Mu doesn't use armament hockey, his strength is terrifying. Why does it feel like your strength is the same as it was a few years ago, without any improvement, Sengoku? Back then, he fought Sengoku, but it took a lot of physical strength to defeat him. But now, he can suppress Sengoku a little bit without having to use all his strength. It has to be said that Sengoku's strength is not as strong as Chen Mu imagined. Don't underestimate me, Chen Mu, Sengoku growled with a ferocious expression. Boom! In the next second, with the force of Chen Mu's arm, Sengoku's body moved back a distance of tens of meters, leaving a long gap on the ground. In the end, it collided with the building, and the originally beautiful building was directly smashed into ruins. War. Sengoku Admiral. Did you knock Sengoku Admiral away with just one hit? No. It can't be done. The gap in strength is too great, we can't possibly be Chen Mu's opponent. Except for Momosagi and the top vice admiral who were still calm before, the other three were already panicked to the extreme. Facing an enemy like Chen Mu, let alone fighting him, they felt like they were about to kneel just by making eye contact with Chen Mu. It's a little harder. Chen Mu looked at the collapsed buildings in the distance, and then at the dragon claw that had entered the dragon form and said to himself. The power after dragon transformation is even more terrifying than Chen Mu imagined. Although Sengoku was sent flying, he quickly stood up again and appeared in front of Chen Shu again. At this time, the clothes on his body were already torn, and he took off the clothes, revealing his strong muscles. Then the whole body is wrapped with advanced armament hockey. Sengoku's armament hockey, not as scary as Garp, has reached the top level, but he is close. Seeing that Sengoku was about to launch the next attack, Chen Mu said helplessly, "You really intend to be stubborn to the end, Sengoku, just lie down obediently. With this level, you are not too naive to want to knock me down, Chen Mu." Sengoku snorted coldly. As his voice fell, Sengoku covered armament hockey's fist, and another layer of white light appeared. This power comes from the power of his devil fruit. Boom! Sengoku's fist has not collided with Chen Mu's dragon claw yet. A huge group of abilities surrounded Chen Mu directly. In the next second, the white light group with Chen Mu as the center exploded like a nuclear bomb, and a large crater was directly blown out in an area of more than 10 meters, followed by a burst of thick smoke. Sengoku stepped back again and again, watching the location of the thick smoke with vigilance. Shua. In the smoke, Chen Mu's dragon claws waved, and all the thick smoke in the surrounding area was blown away, and Chen Mu stood in front of Sengoku intact. Chen Mu didn't even use armament hockey. Purely using the power of the flesh, the country's attack was defeated. How can it be? Seeing the scene in front of him, Sengoku was slightly stunned. He knew that his move would not pose a huge threat to Chen Mu, but, at least it could hurt Chen Mu. But the fact is, Chen Mu didn't even bother to wrap around armament hockey, so he easily defended against his attack. It really doesn't hurt, Sengoku, Chen Mu said flatly. Even if Chen Mu doesn't completely enter the form of dragon transformation, but at present, the hardness of his body is also at the level of advanced armed color. Although Sengoku's shockwave has strong penetrating power, it is released in human form after all, and its power is too weak. And, in the human form, Sengoku's shockwave cannot use the power of the armed color. So, this kind of attack power, for Chen Mu, is completely nuo dejou, scratching an itch. Sengoku's expression was extremely solemn, and the next second he was covered with golden light, and then a huge Buddha statue appeared in front of everyone. Sengoku knew that under his normal state, he could hardly hurt Chen Mu at all. If this is the case, then, he can only enter the strongest form of ability, Guy. After Sengoku enters the Buddha form, not only the shockwave ability used will be increased countless times. Similarly, both the attack power of the fist and the defense power of the whole body are greatly improved. And most importantly, Sengoku has already studied Devil Fruit's abilities. In the form of a Buddha, his shock wave will contain the power of armed color. This is Sengoku Admiral's devil fruit ability. Okay. So strong, or, maybe Sengoku Admiral won't lose to Chen Mu. 161 Thunder Flame Dragon's Roar. Sengoku entered the Buddha form directly, striding forward, and quickly attacked Chen Mu. I saw Sengoku swinging out one hand, and a large group of white light appeared in the palm, which was also mixed with the power of advanced armed colors. Sengoku blasted out with a palm, and the shock wave containing terrifying power directly smashed towards Chen Mu. Chen Mu's complexion was as usual, and there was a top-level armament hockey on the dragon's claws, and then he slammed forward with terrifying power. When armament hockey reaches the advanced stage, he can use the external power. What's more, Chen Mu now has reached the top level of armament hockey. Boom. The two completely different forces collided, and a big explosion occurred directly on the spot, causing ripples in all directions. The space between the two of them seemed to be distorted by this force. I have to say that Sengoku's strength is still very scary now. After all, after so many years of experience, the power of Devil Fruit has already been thoroughly studied. His strength is well known in the entire sea. Boom. Like the sound of glass breaking, the power of Chen Mu and Sengoku exploded again, causing waves of ripples. The attacks of the two offset each other. Big Buddha shockwave. Sengoku jumped up suddenly, with both palms out, and then a terrifying white light group gathered from Sengoku's palm. The momentum gathered by the two palms is far stronger than the force gathered by a single palm. It can be seen that before Sengoku's attack, the space in front of him has already undergone a distorted change. Chen Mu. With a roar from Sengoku, the huge golden Buddha statue fell to the ground with destructive force, punched directly from Sengoku's struggle. The white shock wave directly enveloped the entire area with a radius of more than 10 meters. Of course, Chen Mu can now be said to be at the center of Sengoku's power, and will bear all of Sengoku's power. Lei Yanlong's roar. Chen Mu opened his mouth and spit out a flame of extremely terrifying temperature. This flame not only contained the power of fire, but also contained the power of thunder and lightning. Although Chen Mu has not mastered the power of thunder and lightning, but, when the Fire Dragon Slayer magic is upgraded to the full level, the system gave Fire Dragon Slayer the power of magic, and carried out a brand new BAFD upgrade. That is to say, as long as it appears in the original book of Fairy Tail, there are all moves related to the Fire Dragon Slayer magic. He can use it all. Chen Mu resisted the power of Sengoku's shock wave, and then unleashed the terrifying power of lightning and flames. Wow. Accompanied by a loud noise, Sengoku's golden Buddha body was directly swallowed by this force. Good. So high temperature. Is this the strength that Chen Mu possesses? This is too scary. Quick. Stay away from them, or we will be affected. Several rear admirals just stood tens of meters away to watch the battle. But, at this moment, they feel like they are being melted, as if they are in the magma with the same temperature as before. While Sengoku was battling Chen Mu, Top Vice Admiral set his sights on Vegapunk in the distance. He didn't choose to retreat, but rushed over and subdued Vegapunk. He has not forgotten what is the purpose of their visit to this country this time. And on the battlefield, Chen Mu was covered with the top armament hockey, so Sengoku's attack did not cause too much damage to him. On the other hand, Sengoku, at this moment, his whole body is covered by the power of flames and lightning. The flames were burning his skin, while the thunder and lightning flashed electric sparks on his body from time to time. Even in his Buddha form, his defense can be described as terrifying. But, the roar of Lei Yanlong fired by Chen Mu not only has terrifying penetrating power, but also has chilling destructive power. Seeing the scene in front of her, Momosuke became nervous and shouted, "Sengoku Admiral." At this moment, although he really wants to go to help Sengoku and fight against Chen Mu together. But, she also knew that she could hardly help in this battle. Even the terrifying characters like Five Elders, Chen Mu can defeat them. Not to mention, she is just a small admiral candidate now. His strength is not enough in front of Chen Mu. If it's just this level, I haven't lost yet. Sengoku gathered high-grade armament hockey all over his body, and the original huge golden Buddha statue instantly turned into a purple-black lingering skin. Boom. Sengoku sent shock waves around his body. Forcibly dissipated the power of lightning and flames covering his body. I really like to be brave, Sengoku. Chen Mu sneered. Although this move has been disintegrated by Sengoku's power, the roar of Lei Yanlong has already caused a lot of damage to Sengoku's body. The battle between the two had only just begun. At this time, Sengoku was injured a lot. On the other hand, Chen Mu almost didn't hurt at all. Because Chen Mu only needs to wrap the top armament hockey around the body. His defense can definitely be called the hardest substance in the world. Unless it's Sengoku who has mastered the top armament hockey, with the power to destroy within. Otherwise, just relying on the impact on Chen Mu's body, it is almost impossible to cause serious damage to him. Sengoku snorted coldly and said nothing. Just as he was about to continue attacking, he saw the top vice admiral carrying Vegapunk away. Their mission to take out Vegapunk is done. Seeing this scene, Sengoku wraps the whole body armor color around his body again. You must know that in the form of Sengoku Buddha, his volume is very large. Using such a large range of armed colors is very exhausting. But, Sengoku at this time is very clear, as long as he can survive to the top, Vice Admiral will leave safely. Then, even if his mission this time is completed, even if he dies here, it doesn't matter. Let's continue. Chen Mu. Sengoku charged towards Chen Mu again without any hesitation. Sengoku and Chen Mu collided again, and the two continued to unleash devastating attacks. After only a short while of fighting, it can be seen that all the buildings within a radius of 100 meters have been destroyed. Collapsed ruins are everywhere, as well as fragmented places. Where the two are fighting, it can be said that in less than a few seconds, it will become a barren land. 162 knocked down Sengoku in one hit. Future Kingdom Bakamore Nation. In the center of the battlefield, Sengoku is in a fierce confrontation with Chen Mu. And at this moment, the Marines who were originally stationed at various ports on the coast, heard the movement here, and everyone rushed over here. So, is that Sengoku Admiral? Is there anyone in this country who can match Sengoku Admiral? Then, that man, could it be? Chen Shu. It's Chen Mu. Pipe 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 pipe. What? Is it Chen Mu who fought with Sengoku Admiral? How could he appear here? When this group of Marines noticed that the person fighting Sengoku was Chen Mu, whom their Marines feared the most, everyone's hearts were in their throats. How terrifying is Chen Mu's strength, although they have never seen it before. But, there are too many legends about Chen Mu in this sea. Countless marine powerhouses, great pirates of the New World, and even the highest leader 5 elders of the world government. All were defeated by Chen Mu. War. Can Sengoku Admiral beat Chen Mu? Although they are full of confidence in Sengoku's strength. But if Sengoku's opponent is Chen Mu, they are especially worried. Fist dodge. Chen Mu slammed lightly, and the extremely destructive force wrapped around his fist hit Chen Mu's abdomen. Boom. It can be seen that Sengoku's incomparably huge golden body was directly sent flying tens of meters away. On the belly of Sengoku's golden Buddha body, cracks appeared one after another. Sengoku Admiral. War. Sengoku Admiral's golden body of Buddha, unexpectedly, was broken by Chen Mu with ease. No way, even Sengoku Admiral is no match for Chen Mu at all. Seeing the scene in front of them, several Marine Rear Admirals sat down on the ground, feeling the absolute strength gap between themselves and Chen Mu. You must know that the Sengoku Devil Fruit's ability state is infinitely higher than the defense of the human form. In addition, during the battle between Sengoku and Chen Mu, it can be said that he was entangled with armament hockey almost all the time. Sengoku's defense can be said to have reached an extremely terrifying level. But, it was this terrifying defensive power that was broken by Chen Mu's punch now. Momoshige looked solemn, shook his head slightly and said, "No, although Sengoku Admiral lost to Chen Mu, but, this action is our victory." The top Vice Admiral secretly took Vegapunk away when Chen Mu and Sengoku had a fierce confrontation. At this time, the top Vice Admiral is probably driving a small boat and has reached an area hundreds of meters away. In Momoshige's opinion, as long as they can bring Vegapunk back to Naval Headquarters safely, it is their victory. And all they need to do now is stop Chen Mu at all costs. Even at the cost of your life. Chen Mu. Sengoku, in the form of the golden body of the Buddha, is panting heavily at this time, and there is a heart-rending pain in his abdomen from time to time. Chen Mu's punch not only covered the power of the dragon, but also the power of the armed color and conqueror's haki, all of which penetrated into his body. If it wasn't because he was in the whole body defense state, otherwise. Chen Mu's punch just now was enough to seriously injure him, or even kill him. Chen Mu looked directly at Sengoku, and found something strange. That is, Sengoku knows that he is not his opponent, why is he so desperate? Thinking of this, Chen Mu turned his head slightly, and found that Vegapunk had disappeared from his sight. He turned on observation haki to cover the whole country, and found that there was no Vegapunk breath. Has Vegapunk been taken by you yet? Chen Mu understood now why Sengoku tried so hard to stop him. He did not hesitate to suffer heavy physical injuries, but also continued to fight with Chen Mu, just to let Chen Mu focus on the fight and not be distracted by the news that Vegapunk was taken away. But in fact, if Chen Mu had turned on observation haki all the time, he would have been able to sense it the moment the 4+ punk was taken away. But, Chen Mu doesn't care about Sengoku's strength, so he doesn't plan to use the power of observation haki. As a result, Chen Mu has never turned on observation haki, so naturally he did not perceive the news that Vegapunk was taken away. 0 for flowers. Because of this, the top Vice Admiral was given the opportunity to take Vegapunk. Did you find it? But, it's too late, Chen Mu. Vegapunk is estimated to have been taken thousands of meters away. It's impossible for you to find him in this vast sea. Although Chen Mu has already discovered the news that Vegapunk was taken away, it is impossible for Chen Mu to sail to keep up with that Vice Admiral even though Chen Mu has great abilities. As for swimming past, no kidding, Chen Mu is Demon Fruit Power. As for Demon Fruit Power, the most feared thing is sea water. So Sengoku concludes that there is nothing the current Chen Mu can do about Vegapunk being taken away. And what he needs to do now is to increase the probability of Vegapunk being brought back to Naval headquarters. In other words, he needs to continue to stop Chen Mu and delay time. Sengoku adjusted his state again, and rushed towards Chen Mu with both palms out. You're really difficult, Sengoku, but I'm not in the mood to continue playing with you. Looking at Sengoku, who was about to approach in front of him, Chen Mu looked calm. In the next second, an extremely terrifying aura emanated from Chen Mu's body. At this moment, he was like a god of war. I saw pieces of dragon scales appeared on Chen Mu's arms. Although he hadn't completely transformed into a dragon, his arms were genuine and took on the shape of a dragon. Dragon scales and dragon claws. After entering this state, Chen Mu's calendar area has been improved several times again. Boom. As soon as Chen Mu stepped on the ground immediately exploded, and the force of Chen Mu's foot directly sank the ground several meters deep. Chen Mu appeared in front of Sengoku in the blink of an eye. His speed was so fast that even if Sengoku kept the observation hockey unfolding all the time, he could not predict Chen Mu's whereabouts at all. Crack. Chen Mu's dragon claws hit Sengoku's body heavily, and the golden Buddha body on Sengoku's body was completely shattered, and his body flew back 100 meters away. Numerous buildings collapsed along the way, countless areas became ruins, and billows of smoke and dust rose in the end. 163 Battle over, kidnapped Vegapunk. Second. Sekal. The battle. Sengoku Admiral lost. Okay. So strong. Defeated Sengoku Admiral with just one blow. Didn't he use all his strength just now? Is this the true strength of Chen Mu? It's stronger than before. So much stronger. Marine, who was in the 100-meter open battle, was dumbfounded when he saw the scene in front of him. After all, Sengoku is also Naval Headquarters' highest combat power, Admiral. But a strong man of this level only suffered a punch from Chen Mu. Then it flew directly 100 meters away. This terrifying strength is much stronger than before. Chen Mu glanced at Sengoku, who was submerged in ruins 100 meters away, and his expression remained calm. To say that Sengoku's 027 has been able to entangle with Chen Mu for such a long time is entirely because Chen Mu did not use all his strength. Because Vegapunk asked Chen Mu, hoping that he would cause less damage to this country. Because of this, Chen Mu didn't use all his strength to play with Sengoku slowly. But now that Vegapunk has been taken away, Chen Mu naturally has no need to keep his hand. After all, Vegapunk is very important to Chen Mu, and he doesn't want Marine's people to take him away. I saw a pair of fire dragon-colored wings sprouting from behind Chen Mu, and Chen Mu flew towards the sea in the next second. The only thing Chen Mu wants to do now is to find Vegapunk first, instead of wasting time on the useless Marine. That shape, it seems to be the wings of a dragon. Chen, the prototype of Chen Mu, is it a giant dragon? As expected, Chen Mu is not a human being, but a giant dragon transformed. Those Marines, seeing the wings growing from Chen Mu's back, thought of the dragon scales and dragon claws that appeared on Chen Mu's arm just now. He directly regarded Chen Mu as a giant dragon. As for why this group of Marines, I don't think it's Chen Mu's devil fruit ability. That's because Chen Mu had many previous abilities, but none of them were linked to Zone's similar abilities. As for Chen Mu's terrifying strength, they naturally don't regard Chen Mu as a human being. He has long regarded his terrifying strength as a monster. Now Chen Mu has used the power of the dragon again, which inevitably makes them think. Chen Mu is not a human, his prototype is a dragon. After the shock, they remembered that Sengoku was blown away by Chen Mu just now. Momosuke and 3 rear admirals, with hundreds of marines behind them, ran quickly towards the ruins that engulfed Sengoku. When they felt the ruins, Sengoku had already pushed away the rubble covering his head and stood up. However, it can be seen that there are many scars on Sengoku's body, and blood is dripping out. Sengoku saw hundreds of marines appearing in front of his eyes, raised his eyebrows and asked, "Where's Chen Mu?" Chen Mu has already left the country, and now he is probably chasing Kila Vice Admiral. Momosuke responded truthfully. Sengoku patted the dust on his body, took a deep breath and said, "Although Chen Mu didn't delay too much time, it is enough. Now Kila Vice Admiral is estimated to be several thousand meters away. Even if it is Chen Mu, it is almost impossible to find them in this vast sea." Sengoku affirms that the current Chen Mu does not have Vegapunk's life card. Because if you want to make a life card, you need to use special materials, and the required materials are not available in this country. In other words, Chen Mu couldn't locate and pursue Vegapunk. If you want to find the trace of Vegapunk, you can only search blindly in this vast sea. The scope of the sea is huge. As long as Chen Mu runs in the wrong direction, he will never catch up with Vegapunk again. And Chen Mu ran in the right direction, which was naturally very low. So now Sengoku can be considered relieved. Although they encountered Chen Mu in this mission, they still completed the mission. Sengoku sat on a piece of gravel, looked at the high sky and said to himself, "When we learn the secret about devil fruit from Vegapunk, then it will be your death time, Chen Mu." The other side. A certain area of the Grand Line. 0. On a small boat, Marine Vice Admiral Alla was driving the boat forward rapidly. For a quick exit from the Grand Line, return to Naval Headquarters. On the deck, Vegapunk had already been tied up with a rope by him at this time, but at this time Vegapunk did not panic at all. Instead he said with a threatening meaning, I advise you to leave me now and run away alone, otherwise. When Chen Mu finds me, you will have no chance of surviving. Don't be kidding, the sea area we are in now is nearly 10,000 meters away from your island just now, no matter how strong Chen Mu is, it is impossible to find us. Gila Vice Admiral responded with a cold snort. Although he said so, he was actually a little flustered. After all, he kidnapped Vegapunk, and Chen Shu is Shinigami in his eyes. As long as he is caught up by Chen Mu, he will usher in his death. But, the worry is only a little bit, and the excitement is more. After all, he completed the task of taking Vegapunk from Chen Mu. I believe that as long as he can return to Naval Headquarters safely this time, then, he will get countless awards. Really, you Marine have fought against Chen Mu for so many years, and you really don't know him at all. He is not a person dubbed a monster, but he is a symbol of a monster. Vegapunk 1.2 grams sneered. Really, let's see if he can find us and rescue you from here. Gila Vice Admiral glanced at Vegapunk coldly and said in a deep voice. At the same time as Gila Vice Admiral's voice fell, there was a whistling sound in the sky. Originally the scorching sun shone on his boat, but at this moment he seemed to be surrounded by darkness, and his surroundings became dim. He frowned slightly, raised his head slightly, and saw a huge figure appearing high in the sky, which could almost be described as covering the sky and blocking out the sun. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Gila Vice Admiral's pupils constricted violently, breaking out in a cold sweat. He noticed that it was not the dark clouds that covered the sunlight, but a huge ancient dragon. In the next second, the gigantic dragon transformed into a human form and stood above Gila Vice Admiral. 164 Back to New World. He is exactly Chen Mu. After seeing the giant dragon transformed into Chen Mu, Gila Vice Admiral was sweating all over and sat down on the ground, his legs trembled uncontrollably, and his voice trembled. Chen Mu. How? How is it possible? He drove the boat out of an area nearly 10,000 meters away from the island. How did Chen Mu find him so quickly, and why Chen Mu can transform into a giant dragon? Seeing Chen Mu appearing in the sky, Vegapunk said regretfully, I have already warned you, but unfortunately, you have no chance to live. As for tying me to Naval Headquarters and letting me work for you, don't think about such things in the future. Since Vegapunk personally contacted Chen Mu, he has bound his life to Chen Mu. Similarly, Vegapunk is also very fortunate that he is in the same battalion as Chen Mu. If he didn't contact Chen Mu, but was taken away by Naval Headquarters, he would work for Marine to fight against Chen Mu. Thinking about this kind of thing, Vegapunk is really scared for a while. Fortunately, he is not an enemy of Chen Shimu. Standing high in the sky, Chen Mu came to the boat in the blink of an eye, staring at Gila Vice Admiral with cold eyes. Just when Chen Mu wanted to get rid of Gila Vice Admiral. Gila Vice Admiral's expression was extremely terrified at this moment, and all the cells in his body were trembling at this moment. His heart told him that what he had to do now was not to survive, but to die quickly and not face Chen Mu anymore. Gila Vice Admiral committed suicide by stabbing the blade at his waist into his own brain. Before death, Gila Vice Admiral even had a slight smile on his mouth. It may be rejoicing, but fortunately, I can do it quickly, so I don't have to experience the fear of meeting Chen Mu's eyes anymore. Did you commit suicide? You are really decisive. Looking at the corpse in front of him, Chen Mu saw a flame as strong as the sun's fire in Chen Mu's hand, and then the flame touched Vice Admiral's body. Like a balloon being pricked by a needle and bursting, Yu Shen's body was directly vaporized by the power of the flames. Chen Mu came to Vegapunk and untied the rope that was tied to him. Vegapunk stood up and laughed, I knew you would find me. Don't be so nasty. Vegapunk scratched his head and smiled. Next, let's return to the future kingdom of Bakumoa. I don't think there is any need to go back. Chen Mu shook his head slightly. Why? Chen Mu spread his hands and said helplessly. The research base has been destroyed by me. As for those who did research with you, they are probably dead now. He came to Vegapunk in order to get rid of Sengoku quickly. So I used all my strength, although one blow sent Sengoku flying, causing heavy damage. But at the same time, because the power was too strong, the research base was directly collapsed by the airflow caused by this force. And because Chen Mu has visited the experimental base, he knows that all the people involved in the research are ordinary people. Not even the physical strength of a marine soldier. Overwhelmed by ruins, there is no doubt. All dead. Vegapunk's pupils contracted violently, and then he sighed and said, Dead, are you dead? All the people who participated in the research with him had been with him for several years, and he was naturally very sad when these people died. But he didn't dare to say anything in front of Chen Mu. The experimental base is destroyed, can you still research devil fruit? If I have enough funds, I can make artificial devil fruit by myself. Vegapunk nodded. Although the experimental base was destroyed, all the experimental data are now in Vegapunk's mind. So, artificial devil fruit can be recreated naturally. That's good. Chen Mu nodded. What Chen Mu needs most these days is money. So, where are we going next? Vegapunk asked. The experimental base was destroyed, and now they definitely can't go back, or it's useless to go back. New World. Grand Line's future kingdom, Bakamore country, is very close to naval headquarters after all. If you continue to stay in this country for research, first believe Marine will come over from time to make trouble. Even the 5 elders, the top leaders of the world government, will come. If that's the case, it's natural that I can't stay on the Grand Line any longer. And as long as they go to the New World, it will be difficult for the Marine or the world government to track them down. In this way, they can continue to conduct research with confidence. Chen Mu appears on the Grand Line, and news of the battle with Naval Headquarters Sengoku Admiral, in the future kingdom of Bakamore. Word quickly spread throughout the Grand Line. And, Naval Headquarters has been unable to receive the report from Kila Vice Admiral for a long time. They knew Kila Vice Admiral was dead, at the hands of Chen Mu. Chen Mu has already taken Vegapunk. World Government, the highest hall 630. The 5 elders gathered together again. However, it can be seen that the scarred old man's head and body are wrapped with bandages. A few days ago when he fought Chen Mu, he suffered severe injuries. After this short period of time, he still hasn't recovered. After listening to Naval Headquarters report on the phone bug, the blonde old man burst out with anger and said, "Damn it, Vegapunk is just an ordinary scientist. We asked Marine to send so many troops. Didn't get him." Compared to the blonde old man's anger, the long straight-haired old man was quite calm. He stroked his beard and said, "This incident can't be blamed on Marine, after all." Chen Mu also appeared on the Grand Line, he was the one who robbed Go Vegapunk. If Chen Mu hadn't appeared on the Grand Line, he would have come to the kingdom of Bakaya. First believe that Marine is 100% sure to take away an unarmed scientist. But it's a pity, an accident happened in the end. The old man with the sword in his arms glanced at several people, and said in a deep voice, "Vegapunk plays a vital role for us, because he is the key to our defeating Chen Mu, but now Chen Mu will bring Vegapunk to us. Let's go, the next step. What do we need to do?" 165 Arrive at the Fishman Island. If possible, I really want to go to the lower realm to hunt down Chen Mu right now, but Lord Im's order is still to wait and see what happens. Since Chen Mu stepped into the Holy Land for the second time and defeated the scarred old man, it was the time when he escaped from the hands of the 4 of them. The 5 of them went to Pangu City again on the same day, met IM, and reported all the information to IM. IM still did not put Chen Mu on him, and did not approve them to hunt down Chen Mu in the lower realm. Since Mr. IM has said so, I believe that Chen Mu's current strength is still not a threat to Mr. IM. Perhaps, we still know too little about Mr. IM. His strength should be it's far beyond our imagination. Chen Mu's current strength is enough to defeat any one of them. As for this information, they naturally focused on reporting it to IM. But IM still the same as before, not taking Chen Mu seriously. Could it be that we can only watch Chen Mu continue to develop now? It's not that I don't respect Mr. IM, but you guys like Chen Mu are also very clear. If he continues to grow, it is very likely that even the 5 of us teamed up are not opponents. Chen Mu's strength a year ago was beaten by the scarred old man. But a year later, the old man directly pressed the scar. Even they are terrified by such a terrifying speed of strength increase. The old man in a black suit reminded, "It is true that Chen Mu can't be allowed to grow up so unscrupulously. Although we can't attack Chen Mu from the lower realms, don't forget, the Sea of New World Thieves, Kaido, Silver Axe, Akoku, and Brandi have reached an alliance. Let them take action and get rid of Chen Mu." After hearing his words, the blonde old man shook his head slightly and said, "I think it's very dangerous just because the 4 of them want to deal with Chen Mu. If Shiki also agrees to join forces, the 5 of them have a high probability of getting rid of Chen Mu, but it's a pity. It's true that there are only 4 of them, but don't forget that there is another big pirate in New World now." "You mean, green peppers?" Xingjiao was born in the country of flowers, and now his strength is quite famous in New World. He has destroyed Marine Base several times and even fought the captain of the CPO organization in New World. You know, the strength of the CPO captain is not weaker than that of Admiral. From this, it can be inferred that the current green peppers are at least quasi-admiral. However, he has nothing to do with Chen Mu, so it may not clear up the muddy water. No one will be hard on money. Let the CPO people go to New World to find Xingjiao, as long as they agree to join forces to fight against Chen Mu, then, give him tens of billions of Baileys. Tens of billions of Baileys is also a huge sum of money for their world government. But in order for Xingjiao to agree to join forces to get rid of Chen Mu, they had to pay such a high price. That's a good idea, don't you think? Agree. 5 elders, all agreed to this proposal. The combination of Kaido, Silver Axe, Akoku, Brandi may not be Chen Mu's opponent. But, If green peppers are added, they are not without a chance of winning. If that's the case, assign some people to contact Qingzhou, and then assign some strong people to station at the entrance to New World, wait for Chen Mu to appear, and report the news to them. Although Chen Mu is now in the Grand Line, they know it very well. Chen Mu will definitely return to New World, and they sent people to guard in advance, as long as Chen Mu appears from the entrance of New World. Then you can contact Qingzhou, Kaido, Silver Axe, Akoku, Burndi to make a move. The other side. After a few days, Chen Mu and Vegapunk drove the boat to the sky above the Fishman Island. Although Chen Mu has the ability to fly, he doesn't want to travel from the holy land of Mary Geoise to the New World. After all, anyway, he is carrying Vegapunk, if he fights 5 elders again. He has a chance to escape, but not Vegapunk. To be on the safe side, he naturally chose to spend time from the Fishman Island and head to New World. When his ship passed over the Fishman Island, in the city of the Fishman Island, many Murlocs gathered together. I saw Jinbei, who was still in his youth, fighting Arlong. Everyone was watching, including Tiger. At this time Tiger raised his head slightly and noticed Chen Mu on the boat. Tiger looked at Chen Mu, a smile appeared on his face, and he shouted excitedly, "Brother Chen Mu, it's Brother Chen Mu." After hearing what the Murloc Tiger said, Jinbei and Arlong also stopped fighting and turned their gazes upwards. The same goes for the countless Murlocs gathered around them. Now Chen Mu is their great benefactor of the Fishman Island, so, they naturally know the name Chen Mu very well. Standing at the bow of the boat, Chen Mu naturally noticed several people. Is it Tiger? Vegapunk on the side. It seems that your name is not only spread throughout the New World, even the Fishman Island under 10,000 meters is also familiar with your name. Chen Mu glanced at Tiger, and was about to drive the boat away, but, he suddenly realized that there was not much food on the boat. Why not stop at the Fishman Island first to replenish supplies? Thinking of this, Chen Mu docked the boat on the ground, and then landed from the boat. Nonuo Zhao, countless Murlocs immediately surrounded him. Tiger greeted him excitedly. Brother Chen. Mu Chen, we meet again. As Tiger's voice fell, Jinbei squeezed through the crowd, stood in front of Chen Mu, and said excitedly, Chen. Brother Chen Mu, I am Jinbei. Looking at the fat blue man in front of him, Chen Mu knew that he was the future 7 warlords of the sea Jinbei. Chen Mu reached out and rubbed Jinbei's head, then said, we need to replenish some supplies. Of course, no matter what Brother Chen Mu needs, we will satisfy, after all, you are our hero of the Fishman Island. Tiger said with a cheerful smile, patted his chest. Tiger continued. Brother Chen Mu, I have already told King Neptune about your deeds. Both King Neptune and Princess Otaki want to see you, so I wonder if I can invite you. 166 The 3 ancient weapons of the future Poseidon. No problem. Chen Mu nodded and said, he is not interested in Neptune and the princess. But, I am very interested in the future child of the princess. After all, Shirahoshi is Poseidon, one of the 3 ancient weapons. Tiger ordered people to move the valuable supplies from the Fishman Island into Chen Mu's boat, and then took Chen Mu to the palace. Since it was noon now, Tamaya had already prepared meals at this time. As soon as he stepped into the palace, Tiger couldn't wait to shout, King Neptune, Princess Yiji, Brother Chen Mu is here. As his voice fell, 2 Murlocs quickly appeared in front of Chen Mu. They are Neptune and Princess Otahime. Neptune looked directly at Chen Mu, with a happy smile on his face and said, finally, I have the chance to meet you, Chen Mu. Chen Mu responded politely. Nice meeting, Upton. About your deeds, Tiger has told us countless times. I didn't expect that today, we will finally have the honor to meet you, Lord Chen Mu. Princess Otoji laughed. Chen Mu can be said to have helped them the Fishman Island twice and liberated the Murloc slaves. 553 for them, this is naturally a great gift. Forget about polite words, Chen Mu said flatly. Facing Chen Mu's rudeness, Neptune not only didn't get angry, but instead smiled. We just prepared a sumptuous lunch, I wonder if Chen Mu is interested in tasting the Fishman Island. Question mark quote. Certainly. The main purpose of Chen Mu coming to the Fishman Island is to replenish supplies. There was no food on board, so of course he was interested in tasting the food now. Neptune brought Chen Mu and others to the dining table. At the dinner table, Chen Shu and Vegapunk feasted. At this time, Princess Yi Ji kept her eyes on Chen Mu, wanting to say something, but she still hesitated when she opened her mouth. Chen Mu noticed her abnormality, and reminded her, if you have anything to say, just say it. After hearing what Chen Mu said, Princess Yi Ji was taken aback for a moment, then glanced at Neptune, who nodded. The princess put her eyes on Chen Mu again and said, I don't know if Master Chen Mu understands. Ancient weapon. You mean your future child, Poseidon, one of the ancient weapons. After hearing Chen Mu's words, Princess Yi Ji froze in place. Poseidon will be born in the next few years, this kind of thing, except for her, Neptune, and the fortune teller Xiarli, it is impossible for anyone else to know. How did Chen Mu know the news? Vegapunk on the side was a little surprised, as the ancient weapon Poseidon going to be born in this era. In this world, there are 3 ancient weapons in total. Poseidon, Uranus, and Pluton. These three ancient weapons all have the power to destroy the world. Even Vegapunk has heard of it. Princess Otahime adjusted her emotions and said, "It seems that Master Chen Mu knows about Poseidon, but I want to ask Master Chen Mu for one thing. Chen Mu's strength is well known throughout the New World, and he is also known as the most mysterious man." Although Princess Otahime was surprised that Chen Mu knew about the existence of Poseidon, but thinking about it carefully, with Chen Mu's ability, it is not surprising to know this. Tell me, the birth of Poseidon will definitely draw the attention of the whole world, but, with the strength of the Fishman Island alone, we cannot protect Poseidon's safety, so I implore Master Chen Mu to protect him the Fishman Island. After all, Poseidon is one of the ancient weapons, if such a thing comes out. There is no doubt that whether it is marine, pirates, or world government all want to get this thing. At that time, they will inevitably be in a passive state, and can only seek shelter everywhere, and, badge. Even if they seek shelter, it is not absolutely safe. But, if Chen Mu agrees to protect them the Fishman Island, then I believe that the whole world will not dare to draw the Fishman Island's attention. After all, Chen Mu's current strength can almost stand on top of the world. I can agree to this request, but, at least an equal exchange is required. I don't know Master Chen Mu, what do you want? Devil fruit. The Fishman Island is a bustling place after all, and Chen Mu believes that there should be devil fruit in stock in this place. Devil fruit. We have 8 in the treasure house of the Fishman Island. If Master Chen Mu wants more, we will collect devil fruit from all over the world. I wonder if this can be exchanged for Master Chen Mu's protection. 8. That's enough. Chen Mu nodded. The so-called shelter is just to announce to the whole world that the Fishman Island is covered by him. In this way, I believe that no one will call the Fishman Island's attention, and Chen Mu does not need to make any effort. You can get 8 devil fruits, and there may be more in the future. Plus, he might use Poseidon's powers later on. In this way, Chen Mu can get so many benefits without doing anything. What is the reason to refuse this? Then thank you Chen Mu. Neptune stood up and bowed deeply to Chen Mu. Thank you Master Chen Mu. The same is true for Princess Othime, as well as Tiger and others. After staying in the Fishman Island for a while, having a full meal, replenishing supplies, and getting 8 devil fruits, Chen Mu and Vegapunk returned to the boat. Master Chen Mu, one day I will have the strength to follow you. Jinbei stood beside Tiger, shouted at Chen Mu with firm eyes. Really, let me look forward to it. Chen Mu glanced at Jinbei's face and said slowly. Jinbei's talent is extraordinary, and he will indeed grow into a terrifying combat force in the future. As for Chen Mu, he does have the idea of training his subordinates, but not now. Quote. Chen Mu and Vegapunk drove the boat and left the Fishman Island. Go to New World. New World, a certain sea area. A few strong men from the world government, who are extremely good at hiding their aura and whereabouts, stood at the entrance of New World. Boom. With a loud noise, Chen Mu's boat rushed from the bottom of the sea, and came to the sea level. Chen Mu is here. If, as expected, Master 5 Elders is right, Chen Mu will return to New World again. The person next to Chen Mu must be Vegapunk. 167 The Traveling Frog returns. The hidden world government powerhouse looked at Chen Mu's ship and said hastily. The big pirates of New World, Kaido, Akoku, Silver Axe, Burndy-Wald, Green Pepper, are already waiting for Chen Mu to return to New World. Report this news to them soon. People from their world government CPO organization found Qingzhou half a day ago, and the other party also agreed to form an alliance. Now, the 5 great pirates of New World join forces to defeat Chen Mu. None of them can pose a threat to Chen Mu. But the strength of the 5 of them joining hands is definitely not inferior to that of Chen Kun. Blue, brew, blue, brew, blue, blue. At this time, Kaido and others from Wano-kuni, Onijima, heard the ringing of the phone bug and answered it quickly. Chen Mu has already appeared in New World. You should leave immediately. We will continue to track Chen Mu's traces and report to you. World government's powerful attack reminded. I see. Kaido nodded and hung up the phone, then looked at the 4 people in front of him and said. Chen Mu has returned. After hearing this, Qingzhou stood up and said, if that's the case, it's time for us to act. Qingzhou didn't want to face such a terrible enemy as Chen Mu, but the world government gave too much. And, as long as he can defeat Chen Mu, he will get more treasures. Qingzhou is a money-greedy person, and he chose to become a pirate just to collect in the sea. Now that the world government has given him such a huge amount of jewels, he naturally has no reason to refuse this cooperation. Silver Axe picked up the giant axe that was on the ground and sneered at his body. With the 5 of us joining forces, even Chen Mu can fight. Let Chen Mu be our stepping stone. The future New World, it belongs to us. As long as Chen Mu is still alive in New World, no matter how much their strength grows. They all knew that they would never be Chen Mu's opponents. If you want to end Chen Mu's notice to New World, you can only do it together. I can't wait to hit the headlines. Akoku said equally confidently. Burndy-Wald glanced at several people, and reminded, It is still according to the plan we discussed before. After getting rid of Chen Mu, the bastard Shiki will also make him disappear in New World. Of course, as long as we can get rid of Chen Mu, the bastard Yuji is in our pocket. Silver Axe suddenly thought of something, put his hands on his chin and said slowly, however, since we want to make a big ticket, why don't we get rid of Edward as well? Ha ha ha, this is really a good proposal. There are a lot of great pirates in New World, and each one is king. The 5 of us work together. Why don't we get rid of all the big pirates in New World? Berndi Wo Gerd laughed and made an even crazier proposal. The 5 of them gathered together because they were afraid of Chen Mu's existence. If it weren't for Chen Mu, they should have been non-interfering with each other, without any friendship. Now that the 5 of them have formed an alliance for various reasons, why not take advantage of the alliance and use each other's strength to do more things? Berndi Wald thinks it would be a pity to just get rid of Chen Mu and disband the alliance. Seeing that several people had already discussed what to do in the future, Kaido couldn't help raising his eyebrows and reminded, "Hey, you bastards, we haven't defeated Chen Mu yet." Akoku snorted coldly and said, "What are you afraid of, Kaido? With the 5 of us joining forces, do you think Chen Mu is our opponent? Let's stop talking nonsense, it's time for us to act." Compare that to the crazy ideas of Akoku, Silver Axe, and Devold. At this time, Xingjiao just wanted to quickly defeat Chen Mu and get more benefits from the world government. As for the future cooperation, Xingjiao is not very interested. His purpose is to collect gold, silver and jewels that pile up an entire iceberg, not to be the person who occupies the top of the world in New World. The other side. The waters of the New World. Chen Mu drove the boat and carried Vegapunk to an isolated island. Since research is to be done, it must not attract attention. An isolated island where no one asks is naturally the best suitable candidate. 0 asterisk. Chen Mu docked the boat on the coast, then looked at the isolated island in front of him and said, "How is this place?" "It's not a bad place." Vegapunk stood on the boat, glanced around and said, "If this is the case, then this place will be your new home for research in the future. By the way, do you need to purchase any equipment to conduct research again? Although the 2 have come to New World now, and found a good isolated island. But, there is nothing on this island, so if you want to conduct research again, you will naturally need to buy some equipment." After Chen Mu's words fell, Vegapunk took out a piece of paper and a pen from his pocket, and began to write on it the equipment that needs to be purchased, and then reminded Chen Mu, "I need a little time to think about the specific needs. All devices." 00. Chen Mu nodded, and then prepared to return to the cabin to take a rest. But at this moment, the voice of the system suddenly came from the mind. "Ding, congratulations host, the frog is done traveling, pay attention to check the reward brought back by the frog." The sound of the system made Chen Mu startled, and the frog's trip had only been less than a month. I have to say that the efficiency of frogs is getting higher and higher now. Chen Mu quickly opened the virtual panel in front of him. Then click check. Ding, congratulations to host, you got the secret recipe of Crab King from the SpongeBob SquarePants world. After the system's notification sounded, Chen Mu froze in place. How is this? Even the frog can bring back such a wonderful thing. Forget it, wait a few months. Chen Mu knows that the frog's ability is to bring back abilities and items from the 10,000 realms. Myriad Realms naturally also includes countless worlds, maybe the world of SpongeBob SquarePants also belongs to Myriad Realms. But this thing is really useless. Although the system brought back a useless ability, Chen Mu didn't care too much about it. After all, now, he has obtained the Fire Dragon Slayer magic, Immortal Art, Wood Style, 8 Inner Gates, and the power of the Devil's Quintessence, Fan. 168 New World 5 Great Pirates Attack. The Fire Dragon Slaying Magic, and the power of 8 Inner Gates, Chen Mu has been upgraded to the full level. But Shanshu, Wood Style, and the power of the Essence of Demons are still in the middle stage. In fact, Chen Mu didn't care too much about whether the frog brought back other useful abilities. After all, if he only has these 5 kinds of power, Chen Mu can focus on cultivating immortality, Wood Style, and the Essence of Demons, which are not yet at the full level. Ding, the system prompts. The traveling frog was injured during this mission. Injured. Hearing this, Chen Mu's pupils contracted immediately, not because of disappointment. Rather excited, because he knows very well that as long as he can complete the frog's needs and restore the frog's injury, then, the level of the frog will be directly raised by 4 levels. Chen Mu's frog has been stuck at 2 inches 460 for more than a year. But, Chen Mu has not had the idea of promoting the frog during this time. Because when the frog was upgraded from level 23 to level 25, it consumed a full 30 devil fruit. Just raising 2 levels requires such a huge amount of value. Chen Mu couldn't imagine how much devil fruit would be needed to raise Chen Mu's level from level 25 to level 30. Because of the difficulty of raising the frog, Chen Mu gave up the idea of raising the frog. Instead, use the obtained devil fruit to purchase ability promotion cards in the mall. Although Chen Mu didn't upgrade the frog's level, but Chen Mu will unlock what kind of ability the frog will unlock when it reaches level 30. He is looking forward to it. Before him, there was no chance to raise the frog's level to level 30. But now, isn't the opportunity here? Complete the needs of the frog, recovering the injury of the frog will directly increase the level 4. For the other level, Chen Mu intends to consume dozens of devil fruits, and the level of the frog can always reach level 30. At that time, it must be able to unlock a new ability. What do frogs want? Chen Mu asked the system impatiently. The frog wants to eat the bones of the Millennium Dragon to recover from the injury. The Millennium Dragon. When Chen Mu heard the name, he was taken aback for a moment, and then he thought of the 1,000-year-old dragon that Luffy and others encountered on Warship Island not long after they went to sea in the original book. According to the introduction in the original book, the keel of a 1,000-year-old dragon can be boiled into an elixir of life. Although the elixir of life sounds exaggerated, but Chen Mu knew that the Millennium Dragon definitely possessed such effects. After all, this place is a pirate world full of miracles. If Chen Mu can find the Millennium Dragon, not only will he have the opportunity to raise the frog's level to 30. And Chen Mu himself will get the power of immortality. It has to be said that this task of the system really makes Chen Mu want to move. Originally, Chen Mu had thought about it, although he possessed terrifying power, he was still more than 10 years old. If you want to survive for a long time, you must have the power of immortality. Now the system can be regarded as reminding him that this pirate world has the power of immortality. After dealing with Vegapunk's needs, let's go find the Millennium Dragon. Chen Mu whispered to himself. This mission is not only for recovering the frog's injury, but also for his own immortality. Somewhere on the isolated island, the powerhouses of the world government are watching Chen Mu and others. But they were not found by Chen Mu. Because one of them, the devil fruit they eat is the silent fruit. This strong man from the world government has developed the fruit of silence to a whole new level. As long as it is 10 meters away from the enemy, it can not only hide the breath, but even achieve the effect of invisibility. No matter how good your observation hockey is, it is absolutely impossible to spot him. It seems that they plan to continue their research on this island. When Kaido and the others arrive to fight Chen Mu, we will find an opportunity to kidnap Vegapunk. Kaido, Akoku, Silver Axe, Burndy Wald, Green Pepper, are in charge of dealing with Chen Mu. And their task is not just to report the news of Chen Mu to these 5 people. And more importantly, take away the Vegapunk. Regardless of whether Kaido and others defeated Chen Mu in the end. But they think that as long as they can take Vegapunk away, they can extract the secret about devil fruit from him. 0. Thus, the plan for Chen Mu was worked out. So even if Chen Mu survived the battle, they don't have to worry at all. This battle is about whether Chen Mu will fall or not. Thinking about it, I really look forward to it. A strong world government said. In this battle, Chen Mu's enemies are 5 big pirates. They were looking forward to it, and the final outcome was that Chen Mu defeated the 5 big pirates. Or, these 5 great pirates joined forces to end this Chen Mu era. Chen Mu's strength is indeed very strong, but there is a high probability that the 5 great pirates will win this battle together. Let us wait and see. Soon, the time came to the evening, and Chen Mu took a rest and had dinner. I found Vegapunk at this time, still thinking about the equipment needed. Chen Mu could see that Vegapunk had already taken out several pieces of paper with the names of the equipment densely written on them. Just when Chen Mu was about to invite Vegapunk to have a meal, suddenly a red light flashed in his eyes. He frowned slightly, staring into the distance. Vegapunk, go to the isolated island and hide for a while. What happened? The enemy is coming. Chen Mu glanced at him and reminded. After all, Chen Mu has the most top 5.7 color of knowledge, and sometimes, the color of knowledge can predict the future. Chen Mu has now predicted that in the near future, Kaido, Silver Axe, Akoku, Burndy Wald, Xinjiao and others will all arrive on this island. Although Chen Mu didn't know why these 5 almost irrelevant big pirates gathered together. It is also unclear how the group of big pirates found him. But now is not the time to think about that. It won't be long before these people will arrive. If Vegapunk hadn't retreated to a safe location before then Chen Mu's battle will be tied hands and feet. After all, Vegapunk is still very important in Chen Mu's eyes, so naturally he can't be allowed to die here. I see. Vegapunk didn't ask too much, nodded and quickly rushed to the island. 169 Chen Mu vs Kaido. At night, the divine moon hangs high and casts bright moonlight. At this time, Chen Mu stood quietly at the bow of the ship, looking straight into the distance. Roar. With a loud roar, a colossal monster appeared in front of Chen Mu from a high altitude. This behemoth is none other than Kaido, who has the ability to eat the fish fruit of the phantom beast. It can be seen that on Kaido's back, there are still 4 people standing. Silver Axe, Akoku, Green Pepper, and Burndy Wald. Here they come. Kaido, Silver Axe, Akoku, Green Pepper, Burndy Wald, these 5 people have come. The battle can finally begin. I have to say that Master 5 Elder's methods are superb, and he even thought of using pirates to deal with pirates. Of course. The Supreme Master 5 Elders possesses not only terrifying strength, but also wily wisdom. Unexpectedly, we will have the opportunity to watch the battle of the century so close. And, there is a high probability that we will see the ruler of the new world, Chen Mu, fall on this island. Think about it, it's really 10 years old. Look forward to. Several world government powerhouses hiding in the dark on the isolated island, saw the scene in front of them, and immediately started discussing excitedly. The big pirates in New World have always been loners. It is not easy to witness a battle between a powerhouse of this level with one's own eyes. What's more, in this battle, Chen Mu will fight 5 New World pirates at the same time. I believe this battle will be the most exciting battle they have witnessed in their lives. Silver Axe looked directly into Chen Mu's gaze and laughed ferociously, ha ha ha. Meet Chen Mu again. For Chen Mu, Silver Axe naturally has a lot of resentment in his heart, after all, he has been since the end of the Battle of the Valley of the Gods. In New World, I have been looking for the other half of the treasure map of the Devil Pirates for a whole year. But, in the end, Chen Mu snatched half of the treasure map, and he worked hard for a whole year, but got nothing. Later, on his own territory, he even lost to Chen Mu. Not only his family property was taken away by Chen Mu. The crew who originally followed him are now like avoiding the plague gods, unwilling to continue to follow him. Because of Chen Mu, Silver Axe can almost be called a loner in New World. As for Akoku, Kaido, Green Pepper, DeWold, they are now just forming an alliance and cooperation, and after the alliance is over, he is still alone. It can be said that Chen Mu took everything away from him, how could he not resent Chen Mu? Xingjiao clasped her hands in front of her chest, and said slowly, Chen Mu, although we have nothing to do with each other, but, it is my code of conduct to take money and do things. If you want to blame, you can only blame the money given by the world government. Too much. 5 people teaming up, I didn't expect that I am really valued by you. Chen Mu said calmly. Silver Axe said with a contemptuous smile on his face. Why, are you afraid to run away? But, we won't give you any chance to escape. Today will be the last day you rule the new world, Chen Mu. Because today you will die here. Akoku sneered. Even when facing the 5 big pirates from New World at the same time, Chen Mu still didn't panic in the slightest, and responded calmly, I've heard words like death countless times, but I don't know if you have the ability to do that. Just kidding. Not long ago, he stepped into the Holy Land Mary Geoise once. It was in that place that he defeated a 5 elders who was slightly stronger than rocks. Afterwards, under the siege of 4 people, he escaped safely. Chen Mu is not afraid of the siege of the 5 elders, let alone the 5 big pirates of New World. You are really as arrogant as ever, Chen Mu. I admit that none of the 5 of us can be your opponent, but, don't underestimate the cooperation of the 5 of us. Wald stared at Chen Mu condescendingly, and said coldly. Silver Axe couldn't wait to fight Chen Mu, and reminded the 4 people around him, why are you talking so much nonsense with a dead man? Get rid of him directly. Kaido looked directly at Chen Mu, and said in a deep voice, before that, let me fight Chen Mu alone. After hearing Kaido's words, Akoku cursed violently with blue veins on his forehead. You idiot, at this point, you still want to have a one-on-one with Chen Mu. Do you think you have a long life? Do you want to reconcile Chen Mu? Quote. Even when I teamed up with Akoku, I was beaten by Chen Mu. Do you think you alone are qualified to fight against Chen Mu? Silver Axe reminded with a cold snort. Silver Axe and Akoku know the strength of Chen Mu now. After all, Chen Mu reversed the situation under the siege of the 2, and almost killed them both in the end. Hearing the curses of the 2, Kaido growled impatiently, shut up, you 2 idiots. Does Lousy need your consent for what Lousy wants to do? Stop arguing. Since Kaido wants to be beaten, it's good to give him a chance. Anyway, Chen Shu is already in our pocket. Comparing the anger and puzzlement of Silver Axe and Akoku, Wald said 977 calmly. He naturally knows that Kaido's strength cannot be compared with Chen Mu's. But, Kaido's violent temper has already favored his willful personality. Wald, after all this time together, had learned enough. Whatever Kaido wants to do, let him do it. They just need to stand on the sidelines, and when Kaido can't hold on anymore, they will go forward and kill Chen Mu. Hearing Wald's words, Silver Axe, Akoku, Green Pepper, Wald and others jumped onto the island from Kaido's back. Silver Axe and Akoku spent the longest time with Kaido. Naturally, Kaido's stubbornness is very clear, if this is the case. As Wald said, Kaido wants to take a hit, so give him the chance. Come on, Chen Mu. Kaido has always maintained the strongest blue dragon form, looked directly at Chen Mu and growled. He had lost to Chen Mu twice, but, since he got the Phantom Beast fish fruit, his strength has also undergone a qualitative change. Although now he is very clear that he is not Chen Mu's opponent. But, don't forget, Kaido's future bid is to become One Piece. He wanted to fight Chen Mu himself and feel the gap between the 2 of them. 170 The gap in strength, Kaido's ineffective attack. If you want to be beaten, I will naturally satisfy you. Chen Mu smiled calmly. Although Chen Mu set his sights on Kaido, he is turning on observation haki all the time. This was done to guard against the sneak attack of the other 4 people. Although the 4 of them have no intention of intervening now. Similarly, even in the face of the joint efforts of 5 people, Chen Mu is not afraid at all. But the so-called 10,000 years of careful sailing ship, 10 points of vigilance is still important. Don't underestimate me, Chen Mu, Kaido said with a grim expression. In the next second, a terrifying fireball gathered from Kaido's mouth, and the fireball was slowly getting bigger, as if it was absorbing the natural power around it. In less than a second, the fireball in Kaido's mouth was as big as Kaido's blue dragon head. The sea level below Kaido, because of the scorching temperature, has also boiled up at this time, floating up waves of steam. Hot interest. Accompanied by Kaido's roar, the next second a huge flame shock wave destroyed everything, and the unstoppable attack hit Chen Mu. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, the boat under Chen Mu's feet was directly vaporized by the power of this heat, and Chen Mu's body was completely surrounded by this flame. The power of the flame fell on the sea level, and it did not go out, but evaporated a large amount of seawater. From this we can see how terrifying the power of Kaido's dragon breath is. Although Kaido has not reached the peak period in the future, his current strength should not be underestimated. Kaido can remain invincible even in a confrontation with a strong player at the admiral level. Let's talk about why Kaido's strength has improved so quickly. All because of being stimulated by Chen Mu. Because I want to keep up with Chen Mu's script, and even surpass Chen Ho. Since the end of the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, Kaido has been training like a devil all the time. There was hardly a day off. Because of the lofty pursuit of Chen Mu, this also greatly stimulated Kaido's talent, causing his cultivation to be several times faster than in the original book. This can also be regarded as the butterfly effect caused by Chen Mu's coming to this world. Kaido's strength is beyond my imagination. Silver Axe couldn't help but click his tongue. Silver Axe itself has never paid much attention to Kaido. After all, when Kaido joined the Rocks Regiment as an intern, he was one of the top cadres on the ship. Although he also knows that Kaido's talent is very terrifying, his strength has undergone a qualitative change in this year's time. But Silver Axe did not expect that Kaido's strength has reached this level. If Silver Axe were to fight Kaido now, even if he thought highly of himself, he would not be sure of winning. Xingjiao squinted her eyes slightly, looked straight at the sea of flames in the distance and said, "It seems that Chen Mu didn't dodge this attack." The corners of Silver Axe's lips curled up, and he commented, "Chen Mu is indeed very strong, but he, like rocks, has a fatal weakness, that is his arrogance." Because Chen Mu underestimated Kaido's strength, did he choose to resist this attack with his body? Really stupid. No matter how strong Chen Mu is, he will suffer a lot of injuries if he resists Kaido's attack. Quote. It seems that we chose to have Kaido and Chen Mu one-on-one, which is the right decision. If the 5 of them join forces to deal with Chen Mu, there is no doubt that Chen Mu will use all his strength to fight them. After all, the 5 of them are not simple roles in New World, and they deserve Chen Mu's seriousness. But now because only Kaido is fighting Chen Mu underestimated Kaido's strength. And being hit by such an extremely destructive force, this can be regarded as winning by surprise. Having suffered such an attack, the 4 of them were sure that even Chen Mu would be injured. In this way, their action of besieging and killing Chen Mu will increase their odds of winning even higher. Chen Mu slowly walked out of the sea of flames, and responded calmly, "It really doesn't hurt, Kaido." The power of Kaido's move is indeed terrifying. What Chen Mu is not afraid of the most now is moves that attack the body. If it is Kaido's attack, it does not have the power to penetrate Chen Mu's defense. Then Chen Mu can stand in place, wrap the top armament hockey, and let it last for a whole day. And can do almost no body injuries. This is the world's top defensive power possessed by Chen Mu's body now. Silver Axe saw Chen Mu come out of the sea of fire unharmed, his pupils constricted violently. How is that possible? After resisting Kaido's attack head-on, this guy Chen Mu unexpectedly managed to be uninjured. Hey, hello, is it true, has Chen Mu's defense reached this level? Even Berndi Wald was a little dazed when he saw this scene. As long as Chen Mu has a slight burn on his body, they will recognize it. But Chen Mu withstood Kaido's attack, even his clothes were intact, without any damage. This performance is too exaggerated. Is this the strength of the top pirates in today's world? It's really frightening, Xingjiao said with a serious expression. He was on this sea, so he had naturally heard countless legends about Chen Mu. But this was the first time he met Chen Mu, the first time he really saw Chen Shu's strength. It has to be said that Chen Mu's strength far exceeds Xingjiao's Qian Zhaozhao imagination. Kaido frowned, and said a little helplessly, "Is it invalid? There is still a big gap between us, ah." Dragon's Breath is arguably one of Kaido's strongest moves, an ability he's proudly developed by Devil Fruit. But it was such an attack that hardly hurt Chen Mu at all. Chen Mu looked directly at Kaido, and asked calmly, "It seems that you are very aware of this, Kaido, but I don't understand, you are obviously afraid of me. Why dare not fight with our army?" Quote, "Face your own fears and rise above them, isn't that what Captain Rocks once said?" Kaido naturally knew that he was no match for Chen Mu. But he still wants to challenge Chen Mu, and even more wants to challenge himself. Clearly feel the horror from Chen Mu, so that Kaido will have greater motivation to practice. 171 Chen Mu vs 5 Big Pirates. You are really stupid, Kaido, you are not rocks. Kaido snorted coldly, his face was extremely gloomy, facing Chen Mu's ridicule, he couldn't find any words to refute. Tornado bad wind, Kaido roared, and the next second, the bright moonlight was shrouded in darkness. It can be seen that clusters of dark and dense clouds appeared in the sky above everyone's heads, and in the next second, thunder and lightning appeared from within the clouds. Thunder and lightning flashed high in the sky, and countless thunderbolts appeared and attacked Chen Mu. But Chen Mu stood still, unmoved, and let the lightning strike him. After raising the Fire Dragon Slayer magic to the full level and gaining the power of dragon transformation, Chen Mu's physical body has been greatly strengthened, and his defensive power can be described as invincible. However, Chen Mu's physical defense power has reached a specific level, which he himself does not know. If this is the case, then let's test it in this battle. I saw Guy Dragon, rotating the dragon body like a spinning top and releasing bad winds. Countless destructive blade winds flew out from around Kaido's body. The sword wind contains the armed color and the power of conquerors, which makes this attack infinitely stronger than when it is released normally. The sea level was easily torn apart along the way, and the knife wind even cut the sea level to a depth of tens of meters. Boom! The knife wind attacked Chen Mu at an extremely fast speed, but at this moment, Chen Mu was once again wrapped in armed colors, standing on the spot unmoved. In the distance, the world government powerhouse who was watching the battle was stunned in place when he saw this scene. Chen Mu, are you planning to resist this attack with your body? This guy, what kind of confidence does he have in his own body? He actually doesn't make any resistance moves, is he going to resist Kaido's full blow? Chen Mu is not only powerful, but also has many abilities. Has his physical body. Has he reached the top level in the world? Even if they were standing 100 meters away from Kaido's attack, they could feel the bursts of BACF fear. But Chen Mu didn't take any defensive measures in the face of Kaido's attack. Boom! Accompanied by Kaido's voice hitting Chen Mu's voice, a deafening sound could be heard, and the terrifying force directly tore apart the dark clouds gathered in the sky. The ground plane seemed to be smashed by the fall, with countless cracks appearing. The position of the ground level on the coast of the isolated island was completely cut apart by this knife wind. This attack by Kaido can be described as a natural disaster. It can be seen that the place where Chen Mu was, a monstrous thick smoke rose up, making it hard for people to see what happened inside. Chen Mu, can you take such an attack unscathed? Kaido stared at the thick smoke rising in front of his eyes, and growled. The destructive power of the tornado and bad wind is even several times more terrifying than the dragon's breath. Moreover, in addition, this trick can entangle the armed color and conqueror's power, which greatly enhances the destructive power. It can be said that the power of the tornado and bad wind played by Kaido is 10 times stronger than that of the dragon's breath. The power is not bad, but unfortunately, it's not very useful. When the smoke and dust dissipated slowly, Chen Mu stood there with a normal expression. It can be seen that the ground plane around Chen Mu has been cut apart and has fallen into the deep sea. Chen Mu stood calmly on an unspoiled ground with a radius of several meters. There were several scars on his body. But the scar is very shallow, not even a drop of blood flowed out. How is it possible? Just like before, Chen Mu actually blocked Kaido's attack. Kaido's attack can even easily destroy an island, but unexpectedly, was blocked by Chen Mu. His body doesn't seem to have even shed a drop of blood. This is completely uninjured and blocked Kaido's attack. Can these 5 people join forces and really defeat the monster Chen Mu? Originally, they were full of confidence in the combination of Kaido, Akoku, Silver Axe, Qingjiao, and Burndy Wald. It is determined that Chen Mu must fall in this place. But after a short confrontation between Kaido and Chen Mu, if he was given another chance, he would definitely refuse the world government's invitation. But it was this kind of attack with a heavenly disaster that only left a few shallow marks on Chen Mu's body that didn't shed a little blood. Then the tornado bad wind, wind up armed with conquerors afterward. Because at this time, Qingjiao felt that even if the 5 of them joined forces to defeat Chen Mu, it was still a little dangling. It's not that they think these 5 big pirates are not strong enough, on the contrary. It's that they think Chen Mu is too scary. To be honest, Qingjiao now regrets accepting the invitation of world government. In this battle, don't keep your strength, otherwise, even if the 5 of us join forces, we may fall here. Akoku glanced at the 3 people around him, and reminded emphatically. Seeing the scene in front of him, even Kaido broke out in a cold sweat, and couldn't help but furiously said, "You bastard. Has your strength reached such a level? Let the 5 of us work together to deal with the man who stands at the top of the world." Burndy Wald moved his limbs a little, looked directly at Chen Mu, and said in a deep voice. At this time, they questioned the joint efforts of the 5. If we say, Dragon Breath is one of Kaido's strongest moves. Kaido, I believe you have now fully understood the strength of Chen Mu. With you alone, let alone defeating Chen Mu, it is almost impossible to even injure him. Next, let's join forces, Silver Axe yelled at Kaido. He himself knew that Chen Mu's strength was terrifying, but he didn't expect that Chen Mu's strength had reached such a level. It can be called Kaido's strongest move. You don't need to tell me, I know. Xingjiao said coldly. Kaido has already realized that the gap between him and Chen Mu is now gone, there is no need to continue to be brave. Although Chen Mu did not launch an attack on Kaido, but Chen Mu blocked his attack so easily. Kaido said nothing, acquiescing to Silver Axe's proposal. 172 Dragon Slayer Mysteries Black Explosive Flame Blade. Akoku, Silver Axe, Kaido, Green Pepper, Brindewald stood directly in front of Chen Mu at the same time. Superior. With the sound of Silver Axe falling, the 5 of them shot almost simultaneously. Sky Thunder Axe, Hot Interest, 8 punches. Momo 30 times cut, Ghost Slash. The 5 of them did not retain much of their own strength, and quickly used powerful moves to attack Chen Mu. The 5 forces are completely different, but they are extremely destructive forces, rushing straight towards Chen Mu. Each force has the terrifying power that can easily destroy the island. And in the process of the impact, these 5 forces also directly converged together, and the 5 forces merged together, and their power was more than doubled directly. Dragon Transformation. Facing the joint attack of these 5 people, even Chen Mu felt a great threat, so he didn't dare to take it too seriously. The whole body was directly transformed into a dragon, and scales emerged from his body. The 2 arms also formed the appearance of a dragon, and the fist also became the shape of a dragon's claw. In the next second, he switched from a human form to a giant dragon that is bigger than Kaido. After entering the dragon form, Chen Mu's defensive power and destructive power have been directly enhanced several times. Dragon Slayer Profound Art, Black Explosive Flame Blade. I saw Chen Mu open the huge mouth of the abyss, and a group of black and red gathered in his mouth to form a flame. Chen Mu spat out a terrifying flame like a sharp blade. You know, when Chen Mu is in human form, using the power of dragon-slaying magic, he can easily destroy the ground plane in an area with a radius of hundreds of meters. And after entering dragon transformation, the dragon-slaying magic he can release has increased several times. The power can be imagined. The flame spewed out of Chen Mu's mouth directly collided with the joint attack of Akoku, Silver Axe, Kaido, Green Pepper, and Brindewald. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, the airflow that was set off directly swept across the entire island, on the island. The trees, ground, and beasts in the area of several thousand meters all fell down amidst the explosion. The trees in the area hundreds of meters away from the explosion were directly reduced to ashes. This island should have been shrouded in dark clouds and night, but under the impact of this move, it seemed to usher in a moment of daylight. The dazzling flash can almost blind a person's eyes. It can be seen that a 100-meter-high mushroom cloud rose on the island, and the island endured this aftermath. Nearly 1/6 of the ground was directly pierced and plunged into the deep sea. Good. So strong. What happened? Can this level of destructive power really be produced by humans? Why do I feel that I can't hear your voice anymore? My eardrums seem to be punctured. Damn, I forgot to close my eyes just now, my eyes seem to be blind. There, can anyone tell me who won and who lost? Several world government powerhouses who were outside the battle 100 meters away, many of them were pierced through the eardrums by the momentum caused by this battle. Similarly, because of the collision of moves, the resulting daylight blinded both eyes. You know. For the sake of safety, they watched directly from a distance of nearly 100 meters away from the battlefield. But Rao was so traumatized. If you look closer, I believe that with their strength, they will evaporate directly under such a force collision. Accompanied by the smoke and dust that was raised, and the 100-meter-high mushroom cloud slowly dissipated. Chen Mu's intact figure appeared in front of Kaido, Akoku, Silver Axe, Green Pepper, Brindewald. Xingjiao's pupils shrank slightly, cold sweat broke out on his forehead, and he said in a little panic, How is it possible? He blocked the attack of the 5 of us. The attack of the 5 of them could even easily destroy an island, even if Marine Admiral took over this level of attack. If you don't die, you have to be seriously injured and fall to the ground. But, not only did Chen Mu receive the joint attack of the 5 of them, he didn't even suffer any damage to his body. Hey, it's real. Can this guy turn into a dragon? Brindewald stared at Chen Mu in disbelief. Brindewald is getting more and more uncertain about Chen Mu, it doesn't matter if he has unprecedented talent and many terrifying abilities. 0 for flowers. How can I transform into a dragon? Moreover, the dragon that Chen Mu transforms is bigger than Kaido, not to mention the momentum. Completely crush Kaido's dragon. Kaido's blue dragon form is as insignificant as a shrimp in front of Chen Mu's fire dragon form. This bastard, did you eat a lot of devil fruit? Akoku couldn't help but gasped, and said in horror. It stands to reason that anyone in this world can only eat one devil fruit in their lifetime. So far as Akoku knows, no one can eat more than one devil fruit. But, Chen Mu has many abilities, and now he has transformed into a giant dragon. This is not because he ate many devil fruits, how could he achieve this level? Be careful, Chen Mu is rushing over. Seeing that the people around were still in shock, Silver Axe quickly reminded. After being reminded by Silver Axe, the 4 people around quickly came to their senses. Chen Mu, who had transformed into a giant dragon, was flying in the air and rushing towards them. Boom! Chen Mu raised a huge dragon claw and slapped the 5 of them violently, accompanied by a loud noise. A large pit tens of meters deep was punched directly under Chen Mu's claws. However, these 5 big pirates were not ordinary people, they escaped Chen Mu's attack. Seeing the terrain destroyed by Chen Mu, Akoku couldn't help but feel a little scared and said, "It's dangerous, if you are hit, you will be severely injured if you don't die." Xingjiao couldn't help complaining at this moment. "Damn it, I shouldn't be dripping with muddy water and come with you to deal with Chen Mu." After seeing Chen Mu's strength with her own eyes, the current Xingjiao completely regretted it. If he had known that Chen Mu was so strong, let alone the people from the world government would have given him 10 billion Baileys. Even if he was given 30 billion Baileys, he would not risk his life to fight Chen Mu. Silver Axe snorted coldly, glanced at Xingjiao and reminded, "We have no way out. Either kill Chen Mu today, or be killed by Chen Mu." 173 Dragon Form, Terrifying Power. Of course I know about this kind of thing. Complaints are complaints, and Xingjiao naturally knows that he has already drawn hatred with Chen Mu. If he doesn't fight with all his strength today, he will most likely perish here. Grindelwald yelled at Kaido. "Kaido, don't you really want to fight Chen Mu? Now we give you the chance, you go head to head with Chen Mu, we will find a chance to sneak attack Chen." After Chen Mu entered the fire dragon form, he not only possessed the power to make the 5 of them terrified, but also possessed the speed that made them fear. On the scene, the hardest body is undoubtedly many. After all, Kaido's physical body is already extraordinary, with rough skin and thick flesh. After eating the Udemon's devil fruit, he entered the form of a blue dragon. Kaido's defense has reached a terrifying level. Only Kaido can face Chen Mu head-on, and the 4 of them, 703, have almost no chance of winning against Chen Mu. Silver Axe also yelled at Kaido. "Kaido, we're giving you another one-on-one chance with Chen Mu, come on. Come on, Kaido." TNG also echoed. "You bastards, do you want me to die alone?" Kaido growled angrily. Just now they witnessed how terrifying Chen Mu's power in the form of a fire dragon is. Even the terrifying attack launched by the 5 of them could be neutralized by Chen Mu. Wouldn't letting him be alone now, having a physical collision with Chen Mu, be sending him to his death? Chen Mu glanced at several people, and said calmly, "Have you discussed enough? Since the fight has already started, don't be so timid. Kaido, if you don't take the initiative to fight Chen Mu, we have no chance of defeating him." Xingjiao also urged Kaido to rush forward. If Chen Mu continues to attack again and again, once they fail to dodge Chen Mu's attack, they will definitely suffer heavy losses. The only way to defeat Chen Mu is to limit Chen Mu's power first. That is to say, let Kaido go up and get beaten. Kaido has rough skin and thick flesh, and can't die in a short time. In this way, they can also look for the opportunity to find the weakness of Chen Mu's dragon form and use it to attack. Kaido snorted coldly, and in the next second, Kaido's whole body was wrapped in advanced armament haki. You know, Kaido's current body can be described as a giant. And covering such a large area with armament haki, there is no doubt that the consumption of haki and physical strength is massive. But Kaido has no choice now, he can't use his body to resist Chen Mu's injury, can he? Chen Mu. Kaido let out a loud roar, emboldened himself, and saw that he was wrapped in high-grade armed colors all over his body, and charged straight towards Chen Mu. Then let me try it, the hardness of the body in this form. Looking at Kaido, who was rushing straight towards him, Chen Mu didn't intend to use any ability to counterattack, but flew his body and rushed towards Kaido. After he has upgraded to the full level of the Fire Dragon Slayer magic, after gaining the power of dragon transformation. This is the first time he has used the dragon form in battle. Although Chen Mu could feel that in this form, his body was sending information of terrifying power to Chen Mu's brain. But, after all, Chen Mu did not have a deep understanding of the power of his dragon form. Since Kaido wants to compare his physical strength with him, this can be regarded as giving Chen Mu a chance. Chen Mu wanted to know how hard his body in this state was stronger than Kaido's. In the middle of the battlefield, Kaido and Chen Mu's bodies are constantly approaching. Boom. The bodies of the 2 people after they had transformed into dragons collided directly. The moment the 2 bodies collided, Kaido spit out a ball of blood directly from his mouth. You know, now Kaido is wrapped with advanced armament haki all over his body. But even so, Kaido still feels that his internal organs have suffered a lot. The hardness of the body is much stronger than I imagined. Chen Mu couldn't help but clicked his tongue. He simply uses the physical power of the dragon form, even without the power of entanglement in the armed body. He directly hit Kaido and vomited blood. Momo, cut 50 times. And at this moment, Grindelwald suddenly appeared above Chen Mu's head. I saw that he was holding a giant scythe that had been magnified 50 times in his hand. On the sickle, after entwining the power released by the high-level armed color, it directly slashed at Chen Mu. When As the sickle hit the top of Chen Mu's head, Grindelwald felt the sickle in his hand as if it had been cut on an extremely hard diamond. How is it possible? The defense is so strong. Grindelwald looked at the scene in front of him in disbelief. His sickle struck Chen Mu's head. Only a shallow scar was left, and Chen Mu didn't even shed a drop of blood. Grindy beware. When Grindelwald was stunned, the Lord directly reminded. Boom. In the next second, Chen Mu flicked the dragon's tail, like a blow from a god, and directly sent Grindelwald flying a distance of 100 meters. How do I feel? The combination of these 5 people is not Chen Mu's opponent. Silver Axe, Akoku, and Qingjiao glanced at each other after hearing Kaido's reminder. But now, the expressive power of these 5 big pirates is too bad. The situation looks very bad. It's not that they are too weak, it's that Chen Mu is strong at 4.2 days. While having a hard physical collision with Chen Mu, Kaido yelled at the 3 who were still watching the battle. Hey, you bastards, how long do you want me to last? A person who can easily destroy a country and poses a huge threat to marine and the world government. The so-called big pirates occupy a place in New World and have their own forces. The 3 of them quickly approached Chen Mu at an extremely fast speed. Aren't these people the big pirates of New World? Why do I feel that they are not a threat to Chen Mu? Silver Thunder Axe, superior. There is no way out, let's go all out. Damn, how is this possible? Chen Mu's strength is too exaggerated. It's called the Great Pirate. Heaven slash. The 3 of them all coincided with each other, and their whole bodies were wrapped in high-level armed colors. Pepper Hammer. Those world government powerhouses who have not been blinded by the blindness have already begun to doubt who has the greater chance of winning this battle. 174 Grindelwald's whole card. The 3 arrived at Chen Mu's back at the fastest speed, and the 3 joined forces again to launch a very destructive attack. If you want to say why they didn't attack the head, it was because Grindelwald's attack hit Chen Mu's head just now. It can almost be said that it did not cause any damage to Chen Mu. That being the case, it would be a waste of effort for them to attack the head. If they couldn't hit the head, they would naturally hit Chen Mu's back. Boom. The attack of the 3 of them quickly hit Chen Mu's back, accompanied by a sound like a metal collision. I saw that the back of Chen Mu's dragon form is still intact. If there was any damage, it was just a shallow scratch on Chen Mu's back. However, the attack of the 3 of them managed to make Chen Mu bleed out, but only a little. Your attacks really seem to be tickling me. Chen Mu used all his strength to fly Kaido out, and then set his sights on Silver Axe, Akoku, and Qingjiao. Get out of the way. The 3 of them looked at Chen Mu, and felt the chilling aura directly, and the 3 of them quickly left Chen Mu's back. Came to the island again and stood with Kaido. Damn it, why do I feel like the 5 of us teamed up can't beat Chen Mu? Qingjiao said with a gloomy expression. They let Kaido rush to confront Chen Mu head-on, while they looked for opportunities to attack Chen Mu's weakness. But, so far, they haven't found a single weakness of Chen Mu. On the contrary, the joint attack of the 3 of them only scratched Chen Mu's skin a little bit. How to fight this? The stronger the ability, the more fatal weakness it has. This is common sense in this world. As long as we can find Chen Mu's 10 weaknesses, we can win. Silver Axe Horse. Chen Mu's dragon form, whether it is destructive power or defensive power. After a short fight, they have fully understood at this moment. Even Chen Mu can be described as invincible. But Silver Axe firmly believes that you can't have your cake and eat it too. Since Chen Mu's dragon form is so powerful that it is outrageous, there must be a fatal weakness. So where is the weakness? Not found yet. Damn it, isn't it the same as if you didn't say it? But then again, where did Burndy go? They haven't seen Grindelwald since he was beaten by Chen Mu. Kaido looked directly at the area 100 meters away, and shouted, Burndy, are you trying to play dead, bastard? 100 meters away, Grindelwald, covered in blood, walked over slowly and said, you really don't care about the wounded, but I was seriously injured by Chen Mu. If it hadn't been for Grindelwald's critical moment, he was wrapped around the high. Otherwise, he can be said to be cool now. But since it was entwined with the high-level armed color, Devold still suffered a lot of injuries. If you keep pretending to be dead, you will really die here when we lose. Kaido said coldly. The 5 of them are currently working together, and they can't do anything to Chen Mu. If Grindelwald was missing, the 4 of them would join forces, and they would hardly be able to stir up a storm in front of Chen Mu. Grindelwald approached several people step by step, and suddenly grinned and said, don't worry, I have found a way to defeat Chen Mu. In the next second, Grindelwald suddenly accelerated, and then slapped Kaido with his palm. Seeing this scene, Silver Axe immediately clenched the giant axe in his hand, and said in a cold voice, hey, Burndy, what are you doing? You don't think you can survive by betraying us now and relying on Chen Mu? You guy, don't do stupid things, we are completely against Chen Mu now. Even if you betray the water at this time, Chen Mu will not let you go. Akoku reminded in a cold voice. Just when the 4 of them thought that Grindelwald wanted to betray them and did something to Kaido. In the next second, Kaido's body changed, and Kaido's body was rapidly expanding. But in a short time, Kaido's body is 5 times bigger than before. Xingjiao looked at the scene in front of her in disbelief and said, "Bigger? Oh, does your devil fruit ability even have effects on creatures?" Chen Mu was a little surprised when he saw this scene. In the introduction in the original book, Brindewald's ability can only zoom in on objects. But, in the original book, Brindewald's opponent is King Luffy after all. Perhaps because of this, Dewald's setting is not particularly exaggerated. And Chen Mu is actually in the world of One Piece now, not in the theatrical version. So, Brindewald's true ability, and thus in this world can truly develop. After all, Brindewald, no matter what, is as famous as Whitebeard, Roger and others in the original book, possessing the power to destroy the world. Crack, crack, crack. Brindewald quickly slapped Silver Axe, Akoku, and Green Peppers with his palm, and then reminded, 387 inches. My devil fruit can also release abilities on creatures, but it will consume a lot. I can only use your speed now. Improved tenfold. At this time, the world government powerhouse who was hiding in the dark and was observing was shocked when he heard Brindewald's words. What? Not only can Kaido increase in size by 5 times, but also increase Silver Axe, Akoku, Green Pepper 10 times faster. If that's the case, the 5 of them are capable of fighting against Chen Mu. Sure enough, the big pirates of New World are not idle. It seems that the result of this battle needs to be redefined. If we look at the expressiveness of the 5 of them just now, it can be said that they are not Chen Mu's counterparts at all. But now, the strength of Silver Axe, Akoku, Kaido, and Green Pepper have all been enhanced to varying degrees. Against Chen Mu, it is impossible to fight. Feeling the changes in his body, Silver Axe raised the corners of his mouth slightly, but his expression turned indifferent the next second, and he asked in a deep voice, "You have this ability, why didn't you use it earlier?" "I don't want to expose my cards so easily," Brindewald said lightly. His ability can be used on life forms, except for himself, no one knows. Even his crew members didn't know that he possessed such abilities. 175 Spike Kaido. The reason Brindewald wants to hide his cards. That's because his future goal is to destroy the entire world, and he originally planned to wait until he summoned enough strong men. Launch an attack on naval headquarters, using this ability to achieve a surprise effect. But now, there is no need to hide his trump card anymore. Because even if the 5 of them join forces, there is still a gap compared to Chen Mu. If he doesn't use this whole card again, he is afraid that he will die here before he has a chance to use it. Brindewald glanced at several people and reminded, "Don't pursue this any longer. Using abilities on living bodies will consume my energy continuously. Hurry up and get rid of Chen Mu." If his ability is released on an object, it only needs to consume physical strength once, and the magnified object can be kept in a magnified state without consuming more physical strength. But after all, this ability, the ability released on the living body, is too terrifying. So, that's going to drain him quickly. Come on, I don't believe it. In this state, we are not Chen Mu's counterparts. With an order from Silver Axe, the 5 attacked again. It was still Kaido who took the lead, using their bodies to fight against Chen Mu, while they relied on their terrifying speed and began to look for Chen Mu's weakness. The melee between the 6 started again, and it has to be said that Kaido's blue dragon form was magnified 5 times. Even Chen Mu's incomparably huge dragon body can't compare. And after Kaido's body is enlarged, the body's bone density, defense power, and attack power have also increased by 5 times. The current Kaido, even if he collides with Chen Mu with his body, he will be defeated in a short time. Kaido alone is now enough to implicate Chen Mu, which also gives him the opportunity for Akoku and others to find Chen Mu's weakness. Head, abdomen, back, tail, all are not weaknesses. Damn it, where is Chen Mu's weakness? The 4 relied on Kaido to contain Chen Mu, and at high speed, they continuously launched attacks on Chen Mu's body. But they found that no matter they attacked any part of Chen Mu, they couldn't hurt Chen Mu too much. This Chen Mu guy, doesn't he have no weaknesses? Chen Mu suddenly said, "You guessed it right, but I don't have the mood to continue playing anymore, let this battle end." Chen Mu originally planned to play with these 5 people for a while, but just now, when he opened up his knowledge, I noticed that the Vegapunk breath in the isolated island disappeared. Vegapunk is a smart man, since he chooses to follow Chen Mu, he knows very well what the consequences will be if he betrays Chen Mu. So, Vegapunk sure didn't escape by himself. If he hadn't escaped by himself, there was only one possibility, and that was to be kidnapped. He was curious about how these 5 people knew his whereabouts. But now, he thought about it, there must be people from the world government intervening behind this. After all, the ones interested in Vegapunk are Marine and world government. Dragon Slayer Profound Truth Shiranui type Red Lotus Phoenix Sword. Accompanied by Chen Mu's light Za. Suddenly, from Chen K, a blazing flame erupted. Akoku, Silver Axe, Green Pepper, and Brindewald standing on Chen Mu's back seemed to be standing on the surface of the sun. The scorching temperature almost burned them to ashes, but the 4 of them were very fast, and they dodged directly. I saw golden flames wrapped around Chen Mu's body, and the high temperature of thousands of degrees burned Kaido's body. Rao is that Kaido's defense power has been increased by 5 times, and he has been wrapped in a high-level armed color. But it still feels unbearably hot, like being in the magma of a volcano. Boom. Chen Mu transformed himself into a dragon, exerted all his strength, and directly knocked Kaido, whose volume increased by 5 times, flying away from Miao Miwan. Straight. Shoot Kaido's 5 times amplified body and send it flying 100 meters away. Chen Mu's ability is already terrifying to this level. That is, even if the 5 big pirates from New World team up, they are not Chen Mu's opponent at all. This guy's strength, except for Mr. Yim, it is estimated that there are not many people surpassing Chen Mu. They have been watching the battle for a long time. At first, Kaido's 5-fold increased body can compete with Chen Mu. And in a short period of time, it has reached the level where no one can do anything to anyone. But in the blink of an eye, with Chen Mu using his real power, Kaido was instantly killed. How is it possible? Seeing this scene, Berndy and others froze in place. Wasn't Kaido still able to compete with Chen Mu just now? Why was he directly knocked and flew 100 meters away? After Kaido's body was knocked into the air, he lay straight on the ground, pretending to be in a coma by Chen Mu's power. But the golden flame is still burning in Kaido's body, if Kaido didn't wake up at the critical moment. If he uses this to extinguish the flames on his body will surely be burned to ashes by the power of the flames. After Chen Mu knocked Kaido into the air, he turned around and set his sights on Silver Axe, Akoku, Green Pepper, and Berndy. Boom. I saw Chen Mu opened his mouth and gathered a giant fireball. The fireball gathered into a huge shape in an instant, and then he vomited towards Akoku and others. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. When the 4 of them saw the approaching fireball, they felt cold sweat all over their bodies, and tried their best to avoid the Qian's fireball spit out by Chen Mu. But the range of the fireball is extremely wide, and the speed can almost be described by the speed of light. Even though the speed of Akoku, Silver Axe, Green Pepper, and Berndy Wald has increased by as much as 10 times, it is still difficult to avoid the fireball. It seems that we are going to lose this battle. Berndy Wald looked at the fireball in front of him, and suddenly his face sank. It directly recovered the 10-fold speed of the increase on Akoku and Silver Axe. Momo, go to double speed. Berndy Wald slammed lightly, and his speed was directly increased by a full 50 times, and the speed was even faster than the speed of the fireball. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise in the air, the entire island was shaken, and monstrous waves were set off on the sea level, rolling vividly. The shock caused by the terrifying fireball was even more shocking for 1,000 kilometers away.